The following program deals with a controversial
subject.
The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
the top talents in the comic book business are here to tell everything they know.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Tuesday night here on Beyond Wednesdays for the Industry of Comics show. This is episode 107. So, gentlemen, wow. What a week it's been, too. I've been on my deathbed and finally starting to feel out of it. Dennis and Shawn are getting back from C2E2, and Emmet's getting views from Rob Liefeld. So, it's been a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start off with that, man. That was epic because I'm just scrolling through, and my boy Rob has a picture of Emmet below him, and I'm like, what the fuck? Is he calling out Emmet? And
yeah,
Emmet
that's what I was time I got.
I was
that's
worried for
you,
bro. And it starts playing, and it's Emmet doing his, you don't need to grade, don't grade, CGC, any of them, don't grade. And then it just cuts to Rob going, I don't know. Oh, you're going to play it?
Let's play it. We might as well, right?
Let's play it. Fuck it. We'll go live.
I think it's
right, hold on here. Let me restart this so everybody can hear it.
I mean, I just hate them. I hate them. I think it's like the worst thing that happened to the industry. I think this is just a very bad place we've gone to with these books, and that now if it's not graded, the books are worthless, and if they are graded, they're getting 10x, and that's just insane. Don't grade your books. Sorry, CGC. Keep reading comics. You know what? And learn learn to enjoy the stories as they are.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Look, I love the debate. I don't have as much CGC stuff as I probably should because I do like them encapsulized. I really like the CGC process, but I totally understand. I have so many that aren't for many reasons. When I was a kid, when all those X-Men comic books I talk about that I was buying when I was 11 years old, I was buying 2 or 3 copies of because I loved them so much. And I would always set one aside, keep in pristine condition, one read my reader copy, and then the other one maybe to flip through, like maybe not read as much, but I always had one that I wanted to keep in the nicest possible condition. This is years, 30 years more before this encapsulation, but I respect this guy's opinion. I understand there are people out there who absolutely hate it, but I totally get it. I think there's room for both worlds.
So this is this is the reason why I think Rob Liefeld is the new ambassador for comics. He could have went in there and shit on either Emmet for the opinion or CGC for what they're doing, but he played it perfect, and he only really shits on people when gets into his feels, like all of us, but I think that for the most part, he was very, cool about it,
Yeah, I was very humbling that he could even like my video, he could even find it, let alone then feel that it moved him so strongly that he felt like he had to say something about it. It was very cool.
Yeah.
And I would never have seen it had Dennis and everybody sent it to me.
That's awesome, man. Well,
that is cool.
I tell you what is really cool is how he is doing his social media now. He has probably the best podcast in comics. And I have no problem saying that, especially, rest in peace to
Pisker.
Yeah, to Ed Pisker. Yeah. But which he's probably got one of the best podcasts in comics. And then he started doing these little takes. And he's even talked about it where he's got some young cats that are just sending him videos for him to give his hot takes on it. And it's freaking perfect. It's really good. So again, here is the guy, one of the main innovators in comics history, continuing to innovate. There's not very many comic creators that are utilizing social media like he does.
Not this well at his age.
No, right. No. So that was pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Dennis and Shawn only got to go to C2E2 this weekend. Me and Emmet weren't able to make it, but we got to talk about C2E2 because it was a huge con. I think that it's kind of interesting because we have 2 points of view. We have one coming from a guy who set up there for comics and one guy who set up there for Pokemon. And it's kind of interesting to hear that. But I want to start with you, Shawn. How was C2E2 for you?
It was really good. So I split a booth with. I was going to skip the whole show. Several reasons. We usually do a 20 by 20 booth there, spend about $8,500 on the show, and I love my placement. But they keep moving me. They think they're hooking me up, moving me closer to the entrance, but they just keep surrounding me by these gigantic toy booths, and the toy guys don't stay in their booth. They leak out. Yeah, that's an old setup.
Dude, the guy that was next to where your old booth was, he set up a table across from his booth.
That's
an old one.
Yeah.
He did that last year.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you're 20 feet outside of your 20 by 20.
So I said, hey, can you guys move me to a different spot? And they were going to charge me more. And I was like, you know what? F you guys. Like, I'm done. And I was just going to focus on PlanetCon. They came up to my booth to C2E2 and were like, we'd love to have you at Planet. Like, you haven't been there in years. Like, we would treat you right. And I was like, you know what? This is much different experience than C2E2. Reed is like, kind of nose in the air, like, oh, you want to come to our show, we're gonna do whatever you want. And Planet is like, bro, we'd love to have you. So anyway,
I gotta say, hold up, let me just say something about Reed though. The dichotomy of seeing MegaCon and that packed fucking mess. I mean, there was no flow, nothing. You've got to admit, Reed had the flow beautifully in that convention center.
Yeah, it's a different space. Like the problem with we could get into this whole. The problem with Florida is there's entrances everywhere. The problem that's good and bad. There's one entrance and one exit, and you're coming in here and you're going out here. So you kind of got to go in and then flow around. Another good thing about Reed is you can buy booze, which is great. It's Chicago.
Yeah.
Not every.
I think they had it at New York. I think they had it in New York this year.
Yeah.
My son bought a beer in New York. I was just fucking blown away.
I mean, you're paying for it, and there's nothing like 3:15. You got a bunch of drunk dudes coming to your booth. It's gonna be good or bad. They're finger effing your books, or else they're spending too much money because they're wasted. Either way.
Yeah, that was good, man. It was. Yeah. It. Here's the thing. There's something about the energy level at a con. You can feel the energy. It rises above the floor. And MegaCon just kind of, when it was downstairs last year, the energy was up. But that upstairs, the energy just hung low. And it was just like a dull roar. And it didn't have the energy that last year's MegaCon had because those higher ceilings.
We'll see what happens next year because this is a whole nother conversation. But next year, the first show of the year, I think first big show is actually going to be C2E2, I think.
No, C2E2 is going to be on Free Comic Book Day next year.
What?
But they also moved MegaCon into May.
Oh, Jesus. This is a fucking disaster.
So, I mean, the first con is always a fan expo.
So it's probably going to be Emerald City, though, then.
New Orleans. Well, Emerald City is such a terrible show for comics. I don't know why anybody goes. Only ones I know that goes are publishers and artists.
The opinions of Shawn are the opinions of Shawn.
Hey, I agree with that.
I know people who swear by Emerald City.
Emerald City,
didn't you? Except for the shit show outside.
I loved Emerald City until the last time I went, and it was a complete garbage. And here's why. And I've said this before. I went with one of my best friends, and his mother-in-law is a famous horror romance novelist, and they have
pronounced that word a lot more when you're talking about somebody's mom.
Horror.
There's an R at the end.
Yeah. Well, I apologize to her. You don't know who she is, but she has.
Or maybe Emmet does.
She has one of the penthouses in one of the tallest buildings in Seattle, and it's fucking beautiful. And we hang whenever we would go to C2E, Emerald City, we would go to and stay in that. And it was just me and him this time. And so we went there and we could just walk straight to the con. It's like right down the street. And the whole city smelled like feces and urine. The whole fucking city. And we even went out like 10 miles and 20 miles in either direction to go to places to get like at this famous hamburger spot or, da 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 da. and everywhere, even the elevators in the buildings smelled like feces and urine. And then you couldn't walk on the street without seeing somebody either shooting up or smoking fentanyl on the street. And there was a moment, and the streets are packed with people going to the con. There was a moment where there was a father and his 2 kids and his wife and the mother. And the father literally had to put his hands over his kid's eyes while he was walking past the corner because there was a guy open in the middle of the street smoking fucking fentanyl out of foil, and there was 3 cops standing next to the guy not doing the thing. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Won't let them do shit. Those liberal cities are ridiculous.
Well, it was bad, and I used to love Seattle. Was my favorite place in the world. We used to go there. We would go to Puget Sound in Seattle every summer, and it was one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I was really let down by how bad it was. And the con was very lackluster, to say the least. So, but
Well, they only got Image out there, right?
Yeah.
So Image is got their big thing there. But
mhm. Yeah.
Hey, Clutch.
All right, so sorry, sorry I started it off, but yeah, it's going to be a shit show next year. So I'm glad I got to do both of those back to back, but I can't do MegaCon again if it's that congested. It gave me an anxiety attack. And
Have you been in New York though? New York is worse.
No, nowhere near.
I love New
nowhere
York.
near as bad as
You're too old,
MegaCon.
Dennis. You're too old, Dennis.
Well,
I'm too
Brian,
old with
you
you,
were at
Dennis.
both. You
Yeah.
were at both, Brian.
Yeah.
New York last year or MegaCon? Which was more congested?
New York.
New York was more packed with people, but MegaCon's convention sucked compared to the Javits Center. The Javits Center made it easy to get around, even though there was the congestion. So,
And that's all I'm saying is layout is everything, and those extra wider aisles and the spacing that Reed did in New York and in C2E2 made all the difference for me, man. I didn't feel at all anxious during New York Comic Con. I walked the whole floor.
Well, then I'm very glad I didn't go to MegaCon.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Emmett, what
I had a
I
great
explained
time.
to you about San Diego,
Yeah.
old San Diego, and how San Diego's kind of alleviated now, and San Diego has a harder cap. That MegaCon just let everybody in, and you could tell it was just a different beast.
but
So we shared a booth with Spencer from Comic Kingdom Creative. I wasn't going to go, but we shared a booth. It was in a different location. I really like this location. I applied to get it again next year. When you first come into the con, just take a hard right, and go all the way down almost to the end where exhibitor services are, and we're right there at the very end. But it's a fantastic spot. There's a huge aisle that went straight back to Artist Alley, which is great for us because we were back and forth between Artist Alley.
Oh, so you were okay. So you were over where Marat was last year.
Kind of, yeah. He sits with the Marat never tables himself. He sits with the guys from the
Hot Flips
supply Hot Flips guys. Yeah.
Shout out to Hot Flips. Still the best booth you can have everywhere in the convention to sell you all the supplies.
Yeah, if you need them. You're going to pay for them though.
Oh yeah,
but it's okay.
Be prepared or pay the price.
And then we went to I'm looking for what's the hot book at the show, and of course, Artist Alley is ran by 3 major companies at this point, right? You have,
Comic Sketch, Doug.
I know him really well. You got Doug, from Doug and Mike, with I just brain farted their names with God damn, man, it's been a long day. But you got these, they basically work with essential sequentials pretty much. They kind of work together a lot. They're not the same company, but they work together. You got the Scott's guys from Scott's Collectibles. They represent most of a lot of European overseas guys. The Art Germ guys with Corey, but they barely do shows anymore. I guess they were at Planet this year, but they're barely even doing shows right now. But the major, I gotta look them up. What the hell's their name? But anyway, they dominate Artist
Comic
Alley.
Sketch Art guys.
Comic Sketch Art. God damn, what couldn't
Thank you,
remember
Pub.
that. Comic Sketch Art. And they do a great job repping their guys because their job is to make their guys as much money as possible. I almost had sticker shock at C2E2 because at MegaCon I barely left the booth. I'm running the show there. I've got a lot of stuff going on. It was just me and Ernie at C2E2, me and one other dude. So I was running, getting SIGs and helping him unboard and bag books, giving him money for signatures, asking how much these SIGs are. Everybody was at least $10 at Comic Sketch Art. Everybody. We wanted to get the interior artist for Absolute Batman 17 and 18, Eric Canetti, great dude. No one's trying to get him. We got a bunch of books signed by him because I just love the art. I'm a fan too. $10 a SIG. Didn't hardly had a booth or a line any. Everyone's $10. I heard through the grapevine, this is all rumors. I cannot confirm nor deny this. Brett Bean was $5 and they made him go to 10, which probably a smart move, honestly, because he's one of the hottest guys right now.
Yeah, take advantage of it while you're hot.
My dude Ernie, he bought Ryan Otley exclusive for $60 at Orlando. He goes to C2E2.
Which exclusive is it? The #1 foil?
I can't remember. They're all #1 foils.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it was interesting because I know Otley charges $50 for any Invincible now, right? Is that true?
Well, I mean, ask that again, what?
Otley raised his prices on his SIGs for anything Invincible.
I tell you, I think they change his price based upon how many people are in his line sometimes. Like it's
okay. Let's not accuse him of that, but I just wanted to say PSA did an exclusive signing with him on Friday afternoon. I think it was Friday at 11 actually. And
at MegaCon or C2E2?
At C2E2.
C2E2.
And it was at the PSA booth, and it was $25 for the variant or $50 signed by him and Enid.
Yeah.
It's this PSA booth. And I bought 2 tickets for me and my son so we could meet Ryan and talk to him. And my son loves Enid's work. So it was a win-win. And I'm like, that's the cheapest price you're going to get Ryan Otley on a book ever.
I mean, congrats to Ryan Otley. Let's be for real. I went by his line. They had a gigantic tub of prints outside of his booth, and they run that thing like a machine. It was fantastic to see it. There was a lady taking payments, 2 people before you got to his booth. What do you want? What are you going to get? Run the card, get the payment. Okay, now you can go up to his booth and get what you want to get. She'd be like, I need print number 7, print number 9. Here's the prints. He signs them. Here you go. Get your piece, whatever, with Ryan. Okay, next guy. It was a very well-oiled machine, so hats off to them. But I was just like, man, how much? Oh, I got to send you this picture. Racha Lynn, I'm going to send this to you on Instagram real quick, Brian, if I can get to it. Racha Lynn had, there it is. So I'm standing in line waiting for Jenny Frisson, right? We had a private signing with Jenny at our booth. We do it every year. She is the sweetest, nicest, kindest person. I'm waiting in line for Jenny, and I see this pop-up banner, and I'm like, I've never seen that variant. That's pretty good. It's good. Roger Lynn's known for that anime style. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's a pretty good Invincible cover, right?
Yeah.
I could sell some of those. Like if they were like, $30, I'm pretty sure I can get them to sign them. Even if it's, of course, you're not gonna get them signed for free. It's going to be $30 for the book. I'm thinking in my head, right? $30 for the book, 10 for the SIG. $40, that's an $80 flip. I hate charging my customers something I don't think is worth that much, but this could blow up. Ernie goes over to the booth and is like, hey, do you have this? They go, oh, they just arrived at the Airbnb. They're late. They're $70 each. I was like, what?
There's your $10 profit.
Holy moly.
I was like, no.
Wow.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Let me just say, though, it is up to the market to decide. And let me just say also, Shawn, you're buying for the intention of flipping. There are a million fans that would be more than happy to give the creator $70 to own it for themselves.
I would love to know if she sold out. I'd love to know if she sold out.
They wouldn't even. I doubt if they would sell out of the print runs on those were like either 1,000 or 1,500. I'm pretty sure.
But Shawn, if they want to have it for the next 10 years, they set the price.
And that's what I'm saying. And I have they have every right to set the price, and I have every right to bitch about it and tell them that I think that price is too goddamn high, because it is. Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm still actively doing it, and they may make a little bit of money, but it's the retail. It's the exclusive game. I know it very well.
Right.
You can jack up your price.
Volume.
Yeah,
They
you
should
can
be
jack
looking
up
at
your
buying.
price and sell a few at that price and then sit on your inventory. You can jack up the price, screw over people, and then lower your price later because now you got to dump some.
And now you've devalued yourself.
Yes,
But
what
see,
you do is,
you're predicting that she's going to do that. If I just don't see where, I get that your business plan is based on being able to buy these things
do you
and flip
think
them.
$70 is a good price for an exclusive variant like that? $70
I
is a good
don't.
price.
First of all, I don't know how big she is, and I don't know how many she has done before. But I know that fucking piece is straight fire. And if I was a fan of hers and I wanted to give her $70 to buy that and sign that, because I'm sure she signs it for free for $70. That if I was a fan, I want to give that money straight to the fan. And
Chat, let us know what you think.
You're thinking of where your
in the
margin
chat.
is when you're buying it, and she's thinking of what can I give my fans.
Yeah, but what they're missing out on is not every fan can come to these conventions. That's
Dennis,
the services provided by
guys,
Shawn
you're
and
missing a
others.
big point here. Everything is comparable, right? Everything's comparable.
Yeah.
So how many Invincible variants have you sold or done or been a part of for this round of variants for the last 2 months that have been selling?
0.
I've probably been a part of 15 of them, at least.
No, but we know that he has the experience to know.
Your sarcastic claps appreciate, but I'm saying that because it gives me a little more credibility.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
It 100% does. Stop.
Oh
it
my
does.
God, Brian, quit sucking his dick. It
What are you
does not
talking
get-
about?
It means you got suckered 14 more times than you needed to.
Dennis.
So how many Pokemon cards have I sold in the last
You
year?
shouldn't say that.
Brian.
Hey, you shouldn't say that about another
0.
man, especially your friend. That shouldn't be come out of
0.
your mouth, dude.
So look,
Don't say
I
come in my
sold
mouth.
Pokemon cards. So do you know how
I
much
said come
I
out
speak
of
on
your mouth.
Pokemon? I don't speak on Pokemon because I don't sell fucking Pokemon.
Yes, but Shawn, I've been playing the variant game for 21 years.
When's the last time you did a variant? It changes so often.
3.5 years ago. 3.5 years ago.
I've been consistently doing variants for the last 10
Yeah.
years. 4 years
There are
ago.
a lot of people who go way past when they should. We understand that, Shawn.
Just because you don't do them, don't mean you shit on why I do them. I promise you know what, Dennis, you can have your opinion. It's fine. You think $70 is
Your
fine for that?
opinion,
You think people should charge-
is these
I
people
would
are
love
out
to
of
be
their
able to have a
mind.
conversation without you interrupting me every 5 seconds. Jesus Christ, man.
These
Dennis.
people, your opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, is these people are charging too much for you to be able to buy them and flip them.
No.
No, they're
Well, then
too much.
why do you
Period.
care what she's
They're
charging?
too much. Period.
Would you like to hear what I have to say? That'd be awesome if you listen for a little bit. That'd be fantastic.
Well, I don't know. You were filibustering pretty long there, and
Come
I wanted
on,
to get
Dennis.
to the fucking point.
Dennis, man.
There you go. You keep
Come on,
interrupting
bro.
me as soon as it's
Go
like
ahead,
as soon
Shawn.
as even a fan, I'm sure there's a fan out there, 10, 20, not a million, like you just said. I'm sure there are fans out there that would love to pay $70 for that book. That's fine. Good for them. In my experience, and minimize it as much as you want to, in my experience of doing variants, which I've done quite a few, I sell them across multiple platforms. I buy into many different variants. So I think that my opinion actually has a little bit of meaning in today's market because I'm very, very well versed in it and I participate in it daily. I talk about them daily. I produce my own daily, right? So in my opinion, that cover is priced to take advantage of the fans, not to, it's just worth that much. Something's worth as much as you can get for it. I got it. So if they sell one book for that, does that mean that now all 1,500 of those are worth $70? In my opinion, hell no.
I think the sweet spot, and we've talked about this pretty heavily before. I think that the sweet spot for variants is $15 to $35. $35 is the limit that personally I'm willing to spend for most variants. I'll say most variants, and I think that if you have that sweet spot, you'll sell more volume, like Emmet is saying. Now, I get it. When you're the hottest thing on the planet, there is time to make money off that because you never know when that money is going to quit coming in. I get that. But no offense to Racha Lynn, she's not the hottest thing on the planet to be wanting $70 for a variant that probably, and I don't know for sure, but probably is 1,500 to 3,000 print run. There's a big, huge print run on those Invincibles, right?
Yeah, I think if she really wanted to maximize, I don't think 70 is wrong at the show for people that go to the show. I mean, I think it's really high, but business model for them is to don't care if you sell out or not do 70 at the show. They should have done like 35 at the show, free sig, right? But limit it, right? And then if you want to make the 70 or 80.
Oh, can Emmet finish his sentence, Shawn? Can Emmet finish his sentence?
Dennis, what are you doing, bro? Chill.
I'm doing what Shawn was doing. He's trying to interrupt Emmet, and I want to hear Emmet's thoughts.
Chill.
I realized I'll do this a lot. I will start to say something. I realize someone's not done talking, so then I'll shut up, which you don't know how to fucking do.
All right, go ahead.
So
you're a fucking dick.
At $35, limit one per person. So then you can put, if they want to limit the people that they scalpers, flippers, whatever, and then sell them after the show online for the people that couldn't be there at $60, $70, $80. I mean, that's a better business model if they want to do that. I think 70 at a show for somebody that's paying, how much was it to get into C2E2? $60 probably.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, tickets are probably $60 to $80.
I think it's $150 for a weekend pass.
Okay,
but I might be wrong.
So you're paying that to then pay $70 a book. I think that's fucking criminal.
Most people, most of those books were $35. That's what we sold them for on our websites. Everyone priced them around $35. I get it if you're and they're $1,500. So I'm seeing in the chat, apparently this is limited to $2,500 and it's part of a 3-part connecting cover.
Ooh.
I think if you want to make some money, okay, everyone else is charging $35. You know what? I think this is a great cover. I want to get more for it. Charge $50 and give a free sig. It costs nothing to do this on a book.
Yeah.
Just offer a free signature or something. It's probably $70 plus 10 for the sig. You don't get a COA with it. You just get the book. That's an $80 for a book. To me, again, in my opinion, that's taking advantage of your fans. In my opinion, it's totally taking advantage of fans. So of course, when you look across the market, right?
Or team up with somebody. If she teamed up with somebody, then she wouldn't be like extorting her fans, right? Be like, oh, afterwards you can buy all these books at $20. I'll sign them in, or $30 and I'll sign them for you. And you can, then if you're selling them for 70 or split the 70, 35 and 35, then you're not the one exploiting your fans.
Yeah. And especially if it's limited to 2,500, not 1,500, like everybody else's, you printed 1,000 extra copies and you're going to charge double the price.
I think I want to state this because Derek says this is like complaining about an eBay seller's asking price. It's their item; they can price how they want. You're right. You're 100% right. But this show is about talking about what people are talking about in the industry, and this is one of the main topics that I've heard in the last 3 cons is about pricing. It's one of the main topics that I hear about. So I think it's worthy of the conversation.
I'd no less trash on this lady's choice of $70 than I would about Mark Spears' $125 at MegaCon. I would no sooner do either of those. I personally wouldn't buy that at $125, and I wouldn't buy hers at $70. But they are entitled to price what they want for their services.
They absolutely are.
And their service of coming to a convention and setting up, and I don't know that they got flown in. I'm guessing they might have had to fly themselves in. And hotels in Chicago are not cheap.
Yeah, the background hiss because he turned his mic off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brian, your background hissing is huge because you just muted and it completely
he took his headset
off,
off, so he can't hear you anyway.
Okay, but I think that the market needs to be a free market, and if she wants to charge $70 for her variant and her time to show up to this convention and her abilities to sign it, and limit it to getting rid of the people who want to feed off of hers and flip them on whatnot, and get them straight to her fans that show up to the convention, that's absolutely her prerogative.
It's still
I
about
never
business
said it
model.
wasn't. I never said it wasn't. I
Wait,
never
Yeah.
said
look,
people-
I'm the last person that's allowed to complain about business models, apparently.
I never said that they couldn't do price whatever they wanted to. It's just like if you're at somebody's little flea market setup and it's a soap convention and everyone's selling the same type of soap for $10 a bar, and you get to one guy's booth and all of a sudden it's $40 a bar, and you go, why is it $40 a bar? Because it's my soap and I put a special flavor in it. Okay, you have the right to price your soap for whatever you want to. It's a free market. Price it whatever you want to. Whatever, the free market will decide if your soap business fails. But everyone else has a right to go, I think that's priced a little too high. 100%.
But these low number premiums. I mean, I think it's like a premium item. I think they're going to be tough in the coming months to continue to sell, as you know. Basically, comics are entertainment, and it's how much do we want for our entertainment. The people who are trying to invest or make side money, and I'm not talking about us who actually have real businesses and trying to pay the bills and pay our employees and stuff. It's going to be tough to crack that nut as gas keeps going up, as prices keep going up.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
tough.
collectibles is the first thing people stop buying. You know,
Yeah.
the first thing people stop buying when money gets tight is comics. You know.
Yeah, but see, so like the reason I diversified was because comic reading is entertainment and it's cheap on the reading level. You can come into any comic store and there's usually a 50-cent bin, even maybe a quarter bin, dollar bins. Like you can get a little bit of entertainment pretty cheap, especially if you love the stories. Video games, you know, you don't have to buy the $300 video game that you're never going to play. You know, you can buy the $5 video game and play it for the next 6 months. You know, so I mean, entertainment will always be there. Kind of worried about the premium exclusive.
If it's going to
I mean,
sustain,
I think we're gonna. Oh God, Brian, that sounds so much better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other talk, man. If it was sustained, I mean, it's, you know, variants. Rarely do people do their own variants anymore. They're always split between 10, 5, 25 different retailers. You know, everybody has a little market share. Everybody wants to sell to their market, you know, so it's just, it's the exclusive universe, you know.
But you have to have built what you built, Shawn. Like guys aren't going to be able, the guys that are hustling these, getting them and then trying to hustle them on Whatnot or somewhere else, who don't have their own group of people, like the diamond program you have, like that kind of stuff. People that don't have that kind of reach aren't gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, brother. I tell them the same thing. I say, don't get into this universe if you don't have a market. It's not Field of Dreams. It's not build it and they will come.
That's why I'm not there.
I use the analogy all the time. I could give you a Lamborghini and park it out in the street, and you're not going to get what it's worth because you don't have the market to sell it. But put that Lamborghini in a Lamborghini store, and you'll sell it probably in a day because the market's there. So if you don't have a market, you know.
Shout out to Jesse James Comics. Adam asked where Jesse is. Jesse should be back next week. I talked to him recently, and I said he's going to try and be back next week. So we'll be looking forward to that. Shout out to Jesse. The interesting thing about all this, is it's almost kind of flipped, Dennis, on what happened to you at C2E2 that you're arguing for right now. I don't know if you guys have been thinking that, but
well, can I start by?
Of course.
Can I start by
Yes.
doing my fluffing for my weekend before getting into the controversy?
Yeah.
I had the best C2E2 ever. I set it up, let the kids sell all the Pokemon cards. I came in to let them take breaks to go run around and have fun. I supported all of my favorite creators that I knew there. I went over and I bought a F-ton of Gary V's comics. Met our good friend DJ Emmet. If you remember meeting DJ at San Diego,
I do. Yeah.
He said to say hi to everybody. I got to be a part of 2 absolutely spectacular events, one of which was a young lady came up to the booth and she showed us cards that my Pokemon expert had never seen before and probably will never see again. And I'll give you a real quick brief description. In 2004, Pokemon had a contest. Kids got to draw their favorite Pokemon and send it to Pokemon. And 5 of those kids were going to get chosen to be Pokemon card creators. And they made a special pack of 5 cards from 5 kids' artworks. And it later came out that one of the kids forged the art.
What is it called? So I can look this up.
Poke Kids Create. 2004 Fox Kids promotion. So basically, these five kids got chosen, and then all of the runner-ups that didn't get chosen received a pack of these cards. Now, I think the total was 5,000 cards worldwide got sent out. And they all came with a little, hey, you won the first prize in this contest. Here's a pack of the cards.
Which one of these is it? Which one of these is it? Any of these?
It's the first one there. The first
one right here?
Yes. So every kid that entered got one of these packs. This young lady entered a card and she got one of these packs. And she kept the cards in the cut open pack with the little letter for what, 32 years or 20,
2004.
Yeah. So 22 years. Okay. She brings them out and my Pokemon girl, Maggie, just lost it. She's like, I've never seen these. This is all different art. They never reused the art. All the kids, I'm sure each one of the kids got a stack of their own card. And PSA 9 for just the Pikachu card is like $5,000. So there's the 5 cards. And there's only, I think, 5,000 of each. There's only a census of like 200 of each have been graded, and most of them are in very low grade. Because the kids that got these, they were cards. You put them in their binder. They took them to school. They traded them. They put it in their back pocket. So, and these were all as mint as the day she opened them. So she goes, oh, I went over and I tried to get PSA to look at them, and they didn't even care. And I'm like, hold on. I know who to talk to PSA. So I took her over and I said, hey, and one of Michelle, I think you met Michelle, Emmet, at New York.
Yes.
So I said, Michelle, I got to show you this. Is any of the PR people here? Or any of the, PR people. And she goes, no. And on top of that, our Pokemon experts here. And I'm like, get them over here. They got to see this. And so the entire PSA crew got around this table of this young lady's cards all laid out on the table. And they're just like, oh my God. Okay, this one might be a 10. That one's probably a 9. This one might be an 8, but it might also get a 9. And they'd never seen them in this condition. And so I told her, I go, look, I trust all my collectibles to these guys, especially cards. If I were you, I would get them all graded. You're going to get the maximum value. And she just pulled out her credit card and just was like, boom, let's do this. And had she gone to any other booth, they would have been like, oh, let me give you 1,000. Let me give you 2,000 for these or whatever. She's going to get probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like $40,000, maybe $50,000 if she gets a couple 10s out of this. And that was like the beginning of like my positive karma until the very end. Then these other guys came up and they busted out 9 packs on original blister cards of Pokemon Unlimited, Shadowless, and Fossil packs. All on the original 7-Eleven blister cards. We went back and forth. I gave them an offer and they said, hey, I want to shop these around. They came back at the very end and they were like, dude, nobody came anywhere near your offer. I'm like, yeah, I want to buy these. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. I gave you my best offer. They said, well, we just want a little bit more. So I ended up flipping them for an additional $100. and I lost. So I paid $100 more than what my original offer was. But my offer was the best offer they had. Everybody had a blast. Everybody knows I wear wild pajama pants. And one of the places I get those pajama pants is a vendor that mainly does Chicago area shows, but I've seen them at other shows, called The Leggings Lass. And they make the best stuff. So I decided to buy every one of the people that worked the weekend 2 pairs of anything they wanted from the booth. We ran up a huge bill with her. They loved it. Everybody had a good time. And then, nonchalant to me, it didn't even faze me until after the show. These 2 guys walked up to our booth and they were carrying a case of ETBs, which if you're in the Pokemon world, it's the little boxes, kind of what Magic used to call a fat pack. And they had the entire box flaps back and were holding it under their arm, showing off that they had basically a bunch of sealed product in the box. And I was probably at the booth 10 to 20% of the entire weekend. And they walked up to the booth, displaying that box, and I was like, "Oh, are you guys selling?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Is it these ones, Dennis? These ones right here?
No, it's more fluorescent. It's like maybe I'm wrong set. Ascending Heroes, maybe.
Ascending Heroes.
That's the newest set. The newest set is Perfect Order.
Right, but it's the one that's like a green fluorescent. So yeah, that one right there, the second one. Yeah, so they had 3 of those on top, but it's the thick box, so you can see, blah, blah, blah. And where are you at? Best Buy? Best Buy's got like people selling secondhand on their website. These things cost $75, $60 to set. What's the Emmet? What's the wholesale price on these? You supply?
Yeah.
60 with the SRP of 75?
No, wait, less.
Okay, like what is it? I don't know.
45.
$45 wholesale. The average retail is around 75. The secondary price right now at most stores was 100. People at the convention were selling them between 75 and 100, right? At retail in their booths. And this is the end of the day, 2 hours before the end of the show on Sunday. And they're walking around with a big box of these. And I said, how much you asking? And they're like, well, how much you paying? I'm like, yeah, that's not the way this goes. If you're interested, tell me what you want. And then the guy starts speaking for the guy holding the box and goes, he wants 115 a box. And I think I said a box. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, yeah, guys, these have been selling all weekend for 75 to 100. You're way high on the asking price. And they're like, no, these are going for 150.
Hold on a minute.
That look on Shawn's face.
Aren't they allowed to sell things for whatever they want to?
Yeah. And I said, no, thanks, guys. I'm not paying that much.
But you told them they were charging too much.
I just told them that everyone else is selling them for a lower price.
Like everyone's selling Invincible for a lower price.
Yeah. Okay. Except for, is anybody selling her book for a lower price? Is anybody selling her book for a lower price?
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a difference between mass retail and individual scarcity. But go ahead, Shawn. Go ahead.
No, I was listening to you saying that they were. I was listening to you telling these guys that you were they were charging too much for their product.
Yeah. Yeah. And I told them I wasn't interested. And did they walk away? No, they tried to convince me that 115 was the right price. See, you were allowed to walk away. What if Lynn grabbed you into her booth and tried to convince you?
Did you walk away from the guys?
I'm in my booth, you fucking retard.
You have a big booth where they standing there in your face and
yes, they were standing in my booth at the exit of my booth.
Did they lasso you and hold you down?
Okay, great, Shawn. Now you're proving you can be as big an asshole as I am. Congrats. Are you happy?
I'm
Are
just
you
holding
happy, you
accountable
sawed-off
to the
little
words
prick?
You said earlier. I'm holding you accountable to the words
And
you said earlier.
you've interrupted me to do so, so you're just as bad as I am.
All right, go ahead.
Congratulations.
Go
I'm
ahead.
actually listening.
Go ahead. Did he freeze? Oh, I thought he froze for a second there.
No,
Do you want
I
to?
didn't freeze.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait to hear the rest of the story.
So, as someone who see two young men doing something that I think they could be doing something better, I gave them suggestions that this isn't a great business model. I said, everyone is selling these for 75 to 100. Oh, so we're setting the precedence of how we're going to fuck with each other for the rest of the fucking show, aren't we, Shawn?
I'm listening. I'm listening to what you're saying. I want to make sure I'm just informing this.
Dennis, come on, man. You can't. You got to be able to take it if you dish it out.
I can't take it.
I don't have to perform like a monkey.
No, we're not asking you to. We're asking you to give your point of
asking you
point
to.
your side.
So basically, these guys won't leave. The guy wants to convince me that I should buy these for $115 and that his business model is strong. And I told him, I'm sorry, I don't think this is the exact business model you think is as profitable as you think it is. And at some point he says, my brother-in-law bought these for $105 and he's just looking to flip them for $115. And I said, you can't be doing this for $10 profit, going booth to booth, trying to make $10. And he goes, well, I've been doing this for 20 years. And meanwhile, the guy looks about 32 years old. And I'm like, you don't look like you're old enough to have been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this for 21 years this week. Okay. And
The same thing that
So,
you said to Shawn about being.
that's fine, Brian. If this is the fucking show that you want,
No, it's
cultivate it,
not.
baby.
It's not.
Cultivate this fucking
It's
business.
not, dude.
Cultivate
It's not. It's not.
Well, there you go, Brian. Because you know what? There's a lot of things that we can do on this show in the next 2 hours to have a lot of fucking fun.
Oh,
Brian.
Dennis,
Do
come
you
on.
want the show to go there?
I'm
Dennis.
just laughing because I think it's silly, it's ridiculous, and it's funny.
So after about 5 minutes of these guys trying to convince me, and I'm humoring them by trying to educate them that over my 35 years of experience, going booth to booth to sell for $10 profit is probably not the best business model. And the guy tells me, well, I've set up for 6 years doing this, this other convention. And I'm like, that's fine, man. I'm here at C2E2. We've had a great weekend. I don't think this is a great business model. And basically, if you think it is, then fine. I've wasted enough time. I think your business model, and I said, I think your business model is kind of dumb fuck, but we're done talking. Move along.
And then, unfortunately, the guy decided to make a post on Facebook. And that is where we come into the story. This is his post. And man, he dropped a 4 or 5 paragraph. 1, 2,
Yeah, and I want you to
3,
read this
4,
before I
5.
drop the how full of shit is this post part of this story.
Okay.
Do you want to read it, or do we want to just let people go read it? And
do you want me to read it?
No, I don't want you to read it. It's
Okay.
You can go find it, read it. Basically, he says, me and my brother were just walking around the convention, and this big man just told us to come in and forced us to try to sell our product that my brother just wanted to enjoy. And he wouldn't let us go for 5 minutes trying to convince us to sell it to him cheap. And at the end, he called me a dumb fuck and called me this is the part that is complete bullshit and unravels most of the story, and called me a backpack merchant and shooed me away.
I've never heard that saying at all, let alone come out of Dennis'
Ever.
mouth. Yeah.
Okay, and we've got 300 hours on this show
Yeah.
talking about this exact same topic multiple times. I have never used that phrase, and he makes it the hallmark of his entire story.
His story seems like shit, bro, because he says right here, he says, We came to enjoy the atmosphere, not to sell. So right off the bat, he says he wasn't trying to sell. You clearly said the dude was trying to sell the books, right?
If you bought a case of ETBs and the top flaps are wide open, being held under the arm wide open, held at a 45-degree angle under your arm for everyone to see that you've got a sealed case of 6 ETBs.
Did he come
trying to sell them?
Did he come up to your booth asking if you would buy? Yeah.
No, he did not.
Okay.
But he was looking at the cards, and I saw that he had the open box of ETBs, like the other 20 people that came up and sold this product over the weekend.
Yes.
I mean, everybody who's done a show knows who the people are walking around trying to sell stuff.
Yeah.
And I simply just engaged with him saying, "Oh, are you selling the ETBs?" And they immediately said yes. And that's the only reason conversations ensued.
Yeah.
This is a fair question.
Also, a lot of these guys are afraid they'll get kicked out if they bring stuff in and they're trying to sell it.
That is
so
true.
they always are kind of cagey about it.
Is that a rule at cons that you can't bring stuff in to sell?
A lot of card shows,
soliciting. I think it's called soliciting.
It is called soliciting, but in card shows, it's very frowned upon at a card show.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on all the time, but
just read the part about backpack merchants.
All right, let me find that.
Yeah, I read that. Well, I read
that?
it here to myself.
Where's that? Is that the beginning, the end?
I don't know.
Control F,
but basically,
backpack.
the entire story prefaces on.
Oh, here we go. He says, the guy proceeded to insult my brother-in-law, asking if we could go back and smoke what we were on.
I said that. I did say that.
we don't partake at all. And then proceeded to name call us by calling us dumb fucks. I explained, you do not know who we are, nor do we know you. And this is how you treat a potential customer. He responds with, quote, you aren't customers, just glorified backpack merchants. And we should pony up $2,000 for a table, end quote. So basically, and then he said, again, we didn't even ask him to sell anything. He begins to boast and show us he's had a store since 2005 and he knows how it goes, and bragged how he got offered several at 70. I wasn't willing to wager $1,000. Oh, he said, again, guaranteed he didn't cause every vendor who we shared this experience with, because they said they would have bought it at that price and no vendor was selling them for less than 100. I was even willing to wager $1,000 bet that he couldn't find one at another vendor for $70 and began to backtrack. Well, that's ridiculous, because the dealer-retailer relationship is always going to be at a percentage less than everybody else is selling it, right? Yeah.
And the thing is, okay, this business model of buying it at 105 and flipping it for 115, okay, that's fine, but you're doing it at a show, going booth to booth to try to sell these.
But you had to pay a ticket to get in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that, Emmet. Yeah, that's that.
Well, here's the thing about that, and I want to make people understand this. Dennis isn't saying that it's stupid to come in and try and resell goods at a con. Everybody does that. It's stupid to go in there and only try and resell at 10% when you're not making enough to make it worthwhile. Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. And he says somewhere in the long drawn out story, he says, I was trying to show my brother-in-law how to collect Pokemon cards for the weekend or something like that. He was trying to show his brother, and this is my opinion, 100% my opinion. He was basically saying, oh man, I do this Pokemon game. Brother-in-law, you should watch what I do, and I'm going to show you how to make money at flipping Pokemon. And they bought at 105 from some other vendor, and then they went into, are you taking off? Yeah. All right. My son's going to see the Mario movie at midnight.
Oh, have fun.
Sweet.
Is that a new one coming out?
Yeah, Mario Super All-Stars.
Oh, nice.
It's a sequel to the Chris Pratt one.
Nice. That was a good movie.
Basically, he's talking it up, man, I do this flipping and it's great. Well, watch this. We're going to go around to these booths and we're going to flip these. You buy these for 105, we're going to flip them for 115. You're going to make $60 and pay for your badge. I'm speculating. And he walks up to my booth, maybe the first booth, maybe the fifth booth. And I tell him, I think this is a dumb business model. This is not a sustainable business model. And then he has to convince his brother-in-law that he is not dumb, that he is smart, and this guy's dumb. So he sticks around for 5 minutes trying to convince me that I'm dumb for not buying it for $115, and I will not relinquish. And at the end, I tell him I think his business model is a dumb fuck business model, and tell him to move along. And this deflated his entire ego with his brother-in-law to the point where he had to make this diatribe.
You should have just hit him.
So the diatribe
Just
is the
fucking hit
thing.
that guy.
And
That's why I bring my son.
there was a lot of people responding to this post. A ton. There must have been, I don't know, 100 replies.
Oh, there
to
were
this?
celebrities in it.
Who were the celebrities?
Celebrities.
John Boulder Jack chimed in.
Well, the interesting thing is, I did ask him, I said, would you like to join us tomorrow night at Industry Comic Show to discuss this? I always offer a seat at the table to give your side of the story. And he basically said, let me see if I can find it, where he said it. He basically said that he's not into and the only reason I put that up, by the way, is because somebody had made a post saying he's on Beyond Wednesdays and just talking.
I got doxxed every which way but Sunday.
Yeah.
They bombed my Google page. They bombed my Facebook page. Guess what, kids? You're not the first and you won't be the last. I say fuck it. I don't care.
It happens to me all the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is something that we're going to talk about here in a second.
It doesn't happen to me. And Sean's way scarier than me.
So
I don't know, man.
I mean, this turned into like a pile on. And I just basically was, and you guys know me, whenever that happens.
Apparently, I've closed all my stores. I've been run out of every city that I've ever had a store in. Never evolved and moved my store to different places and evolved my business model. There were some apparently 2 people messaged me and said their comments were deleted in favor of me.
So this is
those posts.
This guy says, Dennis is a co-host on the Industry of Comics on a YouTube channel Beyond Wednesdays. Why not leave your comments over there? If they don't like you, they turn on you fast. Very predatory group channel. Now, I didn't know who this guy was.
Who's that?
I didn't know who he was. But I basically, replied and said, what did he say? He said, I used to get a lot out of their show as a comic shop owner and took his attitude with a grain of salt. And then one episode out of nowhere, they attacked my shop featuring an ad for a sale I was throwing. And I remember that specifically. I remember it as well. It was Jesse and that kind of had an issue with it. I don't think it was Dennis. And as a matter of fact,
I didn't bring it up. Jesse is the one I think that brought it up, but I'm not for sure.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I stuck up for the guy. I remember, so I responded to him saying, "Gregory, I remember sticking up for you and your shop in that segment. Just because a few guys had something negative to say doesn't mean the show or channel attacked your shop." And then I said, Yusef, who made the original post, you know what speaks heavily on a person? Inviting them on to tell their side of the story. Want to join us Tuesday night? And this guy, out of nowhere, goes, Bryan McClay, shut up. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on there. And then he goes, did you run out of breath typing that? I'm like, what is going on here?
So he thinks I've been in this chat, at least 5 people have been accused of being my sock puppet account. And the only one with the sock puppet account this week is that guy right down there. Who got kicked off of Facebook. So I have 0 sock puppet accounts except for one called Dennis the Menace that I use when I was posting political comments and getting flagged every other week.
Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that this guy Justin Nathaniel said. He said that we're hard right trash, and I was like, bro, what are you talking about? I remember last week or 2 weeks ago. Shawn and Emmet did like 15 minutes trashing on Trump after I left the show.
We're both atheists. That's not really hard right.
Yeah, like I'm the farthest thing from hard right. I'm a fucking card carrying drug addict. That's like fuck all politicians. So I don't know where you get I'm hard right.
Amen.
But the original poster said. He responded. He said, I honestly could care less because I don't deal in that space. I'm not a comic book vendor. I don't deal in comics. I don't have more than a single comic in my personal collection. If they want to share his side of the story, he can happily do it there because apparently to him, 50% of it is bullshit. But when I see that his first comment is attacking another commenter rather than addressing the complaint, it speaks heavily on who he is as a person. Couple that with the influx of messages from people who experience similar issues and reviews on his Google page for stores showing the exact same behavior. And I want to say this real quick. There's a big difference between being a keyboard warrior and typing stuff on Facebook and coming on a show and talking it out. There's a big difference. And I've always been the person, and this channel has always been built on like, hey, if you have an issue with anything that's been said here, there's a seat available for you. And to have people totally just gang up on him when the only comment he made is he says, it's not worth addressing here, or you're not worth addressing here. So I felt like, okay.
Because the second I read that, and 50%, by the way, here's the other bullshit part. He says, my wife and kids, he associates Jen, who's one of my employees, as my wife, and my daughter is the one that came up with the greatest comeback to that. How are you and Jen supposed to have two half Asian kids?
Yeah.
Like you
got some explaining to do.
I know. No, she's got some explaining to do.
Oh yeah.
So, but I'm like, I read his comment and I'm like, oh my God, 50% of this is complete made up bullshit. And the other 50% is taking what I said without any of the context. And after 5 minutes of this guy arguing that he's the smartest businessman at C2E2 and that I should buy his product from his brother-in-law, I'm just like, okay, look, your business model is dumb fuck and you need to just move along. And that's the only part of his entire story that's even remotely true. And that's why I refuse to address it there, except for Bowler Jack, who claimed, Emmet, can you describe the two instances of me meeting John Bowler Jack at San Diego?
Yeah, you said something pretty, what is it? Inflammatory, I guess is the nicest way to say it. And he ran away both times. Then he was like, he says something like that.
So I see him walking down the aisle where Emmet and I'm having a smoke break and we're talking with the Hell Destroyer guys.
Yeah, shout out to Shawn, good dude.
And the guy from Phoenix that's friends with the Hell Destroyer guys. Lobos? Or no, not
he's
got
from
a cool
Texas.
Name. No, the guy from Phoenix that hangs out with the Hell Destroyer guys.
I don't know.
He's got like a little 4-letter name and it's really cool.
I don't know.
Man,
okay.
You asking me to remember names?
Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. So we're talking and smoking and I look down there. I go, is that Bowler Jack? And the guy starts walking, eyeballs me and goes, oh, what's up, tough guy? And I'm like, yeah, tough guy, come over here. Come over here. And he just starts scurrying away like a little snake. A guy who videotaped Stan Lee being abused and then wanted us to pay to see it. And then we ran into him at the Ignition party, and he showed up late after everything was done. And we were outside smoking, and he scurried past us inside and scurried out away from us.
Yeah, you forgot to play the drama alert section.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, you guys, 1 second. Not the drama alert section. This is in retroactive.
That's right.
Hold on.
Go edit it.
Don't you get demonetized?
Valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
All right, there we go. That was necessary.
One more shout out, and Shawn, I think this is a shout out for both of us. And I want to get the name of his store correct. So as we were breaking down, a guy walked up to my booth and introduced himself.
Oh yeah, tall dude.
Yeah, Battle something. Battle Buddy Comics.
Oh, he's in the chat.
com.
Shout out to Battle Buddy. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay. So he walks up and like just introduces himself and just say, "I watch your show all the time." Now, meanwhile, I don't even this is water off my back. These two guys, you know, the New Jack Flippers or whatever I would have actually called them instead of backpack merchants. He walks up at the end of a great show that I feel that I've been just having a great time, awesome time, phenomenal time. Everybody had a great time. And he walks up and goes, "I just wanted to let you know, I watch your show. I love your show. I took all of your advice when I opened my new store, and it's the best advice anybody could have given me." And that's what I thought I was doing to Yosef and his brother-in-law, was like, guys, there's a better way to do this.
Wait a second. Was that Cat Stevens?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think Yosef's the first name. So here's the thing. This guy comes up at the end and validates my whole weekend, validates 100 episodes of doing this show by saying he did things differently because he listened to me. And that is worth 1,000,000 times more than any crybaby on Facebook.
Yeah. No, he ran up to the booth. We were breaking down. I think I was actually closing up a 6-foot table, and he came up to me and he's like, "Shawn, can I get a quick picture?" I was like, "Yeah, man, sure." Like, I'm, flabbergasted, of course. He's like, "Hey, I love that you're on the Beyond Wednesdays. It's a great show. I watch it all the time." He's like, "I think you're a great addition to the show." He's like, "Just thank you so much." And he's like, I just got a picture with Dennis. Can I get one with you too?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
I love that.
It was super cool. So I won't
See,
even.
that's-
This is what this is episode 106. You said
107.
107. I've been on 6 episodes, and in the last 2 cons, I've had so many people come up to me and be like, "I love you on the Beyond Wednesday show. Oh my God, I watch that show all the time." So you got a big audience out there, brother, for this show.
I thought,
cool.
and this is what I thought was interesting. Like, shout out to Mike. He says, "Can't wait to watch them discuss this on Beyond." And this is why I gave the message to Yusuf, "Hey, do you want to come on?" Yusuf said, "I'm not aware of what this is, but I'm happy to share my experience with anyone to spread awareness. There's no place for this behavior in the space or industry." So I responded to him saying, "Hey, here I am. Come on and do that." And then I guess he decided against it for whatever reason, which I don't understand. If you feel truly about this, I'm the type of person that's always going to say, "Hey, if somebody has a problem with me, I'm gonna hit it head on and try and figure it out and make sure if it's a real problem." You know what I mean? And
Well, the reason why he didn't want to come on is probably because he knew that there would be some research done on him, and it would find out what kind of really person he is or was.
yeah,
And he'd have to confront Dennis face to face.
yes,
With the 50% of his made up story,
which
that
he's
he
afraid
knows
of. Yeah,
he made it the fuck up.
yeah.
He's gonna see the show. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's fine. And I think in this, it's up to you, Den. I got no game in this at all. But Dennis and Brian, man, if he does want to come on, I think it'd be a great idea for him to come on and actually.
Well, I would think it was great if he had wanted to have a polite conversation, but the second they started bombarding my Google with fake reviews,
And this
Yeah,
is
that's
a nice
probably
segue into where we wanted to go.
and we
Let-
actually brought this topic up 4 weeks ago to talk about, and I think we should definitely talk about it.
And again, this is part of the cancel culture bullshit that I can't stand. But unfortunately, so much of our lives is on the net now. We have a computer in our pocket that's connected to it. All of our information is on there, and it's very easy for people to go and do these review bombs. But at the same time, if you're gonna put this type of post up, like, come on the show and talk about it real quick. Big shout out to Rye, who not only just gifted 50 memberships again, He also dropped a super chat early in the show, man.
That means all the people who hate me in the chat are going to get a free membership, Brian, and they can come back and they can hate me in the chat.
All the lurkers. Yeah. And by the way, you guys, if you're always wondering why you're not getting any gifted memberships, you have to turn it on in your Google account. There's a little button under the chat that has like a plus or a money button, and if you click that, it'll say to turn it on. So, big shout out to Rye.
Rye was cleaning up in our whatnot show after C2E2, getting some great books.
He's a great dude, man.
Dude, man.
He's been supporting not only Beyond Wednesdays, but all the people involved for a while now. And I can't, everybody, the support over the last year now has just been immense. We're about to hit 5,000 subs. We're less than 200 away from 5,000 subs. We hit over 1 million views, and it's because of all you guys that we do this every weekend. I'm not the type of person that talks about, oh, poor me, but I was in the ER last night for this con crud, and I shout out to my boy Red Hood who called and checked on me this morning, and all my boys, everybody, all the guys here. We've created this community where like it's more than just an acquaintance at this point. So Hood called me this morning and was like, well, you sound like shit, man. Are you gonna do the show? I'm like, hopefully I'm gonna do the show, because that's been the thing about this channel, is that we've been consistent, and this is 107 episodes of this show. That the only reason that we haven't done one is because we've been at a con or something. So to me, that's important, and I want to keep doing that because you guys support us. So if the support wasn't there, we wouldn't be here either. So thank you so much. All right, now on to that topic about review bombing. And this is something that I don't know anything about because, other than people leaving comments on my channel, like that's something that, I don't have a place where they can go and do it. And that's the only place I see it is comments on the channel. But you guys see it on your Shopify's, your websites, your Google rating, your Yelps. I mean, that's a big deal. eBay. Yeah. Shout out to Chonko, who just said with a $9.99 super chat, stuff like this is why this is the best comic show on YouTube. Unfiltered, unscripted, raw, great stuff. Get well, Brian. Thank you, bro. Make sure you guys are following Chonko and Big Nasty. All right.
I've been getting recently on eBay where people buy an item and then want to start questioning you after they've bought the item.
Yes.
Which is like setting me up for a discount when they get it.
Yep.
And I canceled the guy's order, and then he gave me a negative review because I canceled his order.
Right. Well, no, not just that. If you sell the item and then they get it and then try to renegotiate the price and say they want an extra discount or they want you to give them money off because of this, or this, and that was clearly stated, I don't care anymore. I'm like, send it back for a 100% refund, including shipping. And they really want the item, so they're pissed that their renegotiation didn't happen, and they almost always negative you. Now, Jesse, if Jesse were here, he would say, look, give them the thing, make them happy, keep your feedback.
Keep 100%. Yeah.
Right.
No, I see where he's coming from.
I do. I absolutely do. But I don't negotiate with terrorists. And to me, that's negotiating with terrorists.
Same.
And I don't care if I have 99.6. And anytime somebody questions me on that, or 99.4, it's either 0.4 or 0.6.
I have 98. I have 98.4.
And I'm gonna you're a bigger asshole than me.
Oh yeah. And you know what that means, right? You guys, have you ever gone below 98?
No.
I was at 96 at one point, and they cut you back to 500 items.
Oh, wow.
Even if you're paying for a store.
Yeah. But so basically, I always say, do you think Walmart has a 99% customer satisfaction? Do you think Amazon has a 99% customer satisfaction? McDonald's, anyone. The fact that I've been able to operate at 99.4 or 99.6, let's just call it 99.5 customer satisfaction. And once again, I'll reiterate what Yosef said. I absolutely said, no, customers are people who buy. You're a seller. You're not a customer. You can leave anytime.
I looked at the guy's, I went and looked at his eBay. He was buying to resell it.
Yes. So he wanted more meat on the bone than you were willing to give him.
We had a dude that wanted to he wanted to get something from the website and combine it with his eBay order. And my eBay girl said, "Look, we can't do that. You got to go here, just email customer service on the website." And she said, "They'll take care of it." She said, "I can't do it on my end. The website has to reduce website inventory, pull the book, give it to me. I'll bundle it together." The guy left us a negative review being like, "Oh, I feel like she told me it was not my problem." Like, we said we could do it. She was going above and beyond. You just had to send one more email. But apparently that was too much of an inconvenience for him. We used to get
over
review bombed. Yeah, our Facebook got slaughtered probably about 8 or 9 years ago when we were first getting started. Kind of like what happened to you, Dennis, in this group. There was a whole group out there that was like going after me, and anybody that posted something positive was blocked and deleted and taken out of the group. I was accused of being a racist. Like, my head manager for the last 10 years has been a black girl. Like, it's ridiculous. They've made up
well,
stories.
The first thing that they do, Shawn, like, that's always been the first thing that people that they go at people with when there's nothing to go at. You either get called a racist, a homo, or a homophobe. Excuse my words. You're either homophobic or you're gay, or you're a racist. Those and as soon as those comments start coming out, I immediately am like, okay, those are unfounded, because those are the first things that they come at you with.
And especially,
or you could be all three.
Or you could be all three. Can you be all three? Can you be homo and homophobic at the same time? Because
Lindsey Graham.
Oh,
that's
okay.
True.
I don't know who that is, but
wait, that makes us left wing making fun of a Republican, doesn't it?
I don't even know Lindsey Graham. I don't even know who that is.
He's a fucking lizard person.
Around this time, about 8-9 years ago, like, the sentiment in the country was much different. It was like you had to walk on eggshells with everything you said, because cancel culture was hot and heavy.
Yeah,
like hot and heavy. If you said anything, you were done. You know,
and it can ruin. It can ruin your
Twitter
lives.
mobs were out there, like, you know, see how you want to, but best thing that happened to Twitter was Elon bought that thing and chased everyone off of there. They all went to Blue Sky now. But
shout out to Rye, who just dropped a $50 super chat. He says, "I used to run a number of pawn shops. When people would come in and start naming issues with an item they wanted to buy, I would just stop them and say I didn't want them to have it and deal with the issues. Keep your money." They would get so angry. And you know what's funny about that, Rye? The only negative review I've ever had on eBay was a guy that, and I've talked about this before, I had I still have it, a rare 9.8. You remember the movie Fringe? I think it was called Fringe.
Oh, yeah.
And they did those.
TV show.
Yeah, they did those variants where it was like
the Batman.
It's Dark Knight Returns, but it was Superman, and then Death of Superman, but it was Batman. Well, I had a 9.8 Death of Superman Batman one up on eBay for like, I think it was like $800. And a guy reached out to me right before San Diego, and he said, "Hey, I'd love to buy this for $600. Would you take that?" And I said, "You know what? I'll make it. You know, I'm getting ready to go to San Diego. It'd help me pay for San Diego. I'll make it, buy it now, and you could put in." It wasn't buy it now. So he did it. It's very obvious on all my stuff that says my shipping is 7 days. And it's just what I'm able to do. And it's very clear on all my stuff.
I was going to ship your book.
And then I got high. So he after 2 days, he responds to me and he says, "You know what? I think that you should give me something extra or something along those lines, because you're taking this should have already been shipped. Where is it?" And I said, and I basically immediately thought to myself, okay, I've had this happen where people, there's this thing that goes on where people buy stuff trying to get extra stuff all the time. And I basically just said to the guy, "Well, you know, I'm sorry, but, you know, do you really want this item? Because if you really want it, you know, I'll ship it to you, but I just want to make sure because it sounds like you don't want it, and I don't mind just keeping it. And then he threatened to leave me bad reviews because he said if he's going to pay us $600 for a comic book, it should be shipped out the next day. And so I just canceled the order. I said, all right, man. And sure enough, he left me this huge, long, bad review. Well, I'm currently in the process of getting it removed from eBay because you can't do that as a person. You can't threaten, one, to leave bad reviews because, two, you didn't get your book shipped in the time you think is necessary. So I still have the item. I said, you know what? I'm keeping it. I haven't put it back up, but that's exactly that same type of thing. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. You are correct. It's it's such a cowardly thing to do. These guys that do the negative review bombing. You know, there's so many and I just stopped caring. Like I haven't looked at my Yelp review in years. I don't give a shit.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, my Facebook was like a 4.2. It was like a 3.9 at one point. I used to go live and be like, guys, if you had a good experience, please leave me a good review because I care about this thing. I don't even give a shit anymore, man.
Yeah.
Like the people that
it takes 5 good ones to make up for one bad one. And it's not worth asking your customers who are satisfied to compensate for assholes that are just trying to torpedo you.
Right.
Yeah. And we have automated email set up now in our flows that, you know, ask for reviews if they had a good experience and blah, blah, blah. And they get a discount code if they do. But just, I'm so grateful. There's been a ton of people in the chat like, I've been buying for Comic Sleep for years. They're fantastic. Like that's who I care about is the people that
shout out to Lisa Noble. She's great.
Continue to make cool comics.
Amen. You know? Amen. Not unlike this person in the chat who's here trying to throw up a bunch of negative comics like Bryan is such a douchebag. These dudes would crash on an elevator if they got in it. Didn't he have a con that failed miserably? I've never had a con. How red is Dennis?
No, he's talking to me.
Oh, he doesn't look that red to me.
Here's the thing.
Even if he was, who cares?
You only know what your capabilities are if you try. And people who have never ponied up and put their dick on the table are the first ones to try to chop you down if you don't succeed at some higher level.
So this is what I love to do with these people, right? I'll let all these super chats run by from all the people that are supporting us. What I like to do with these people is I don't like to block them. I like to let them get their shit out. But then I like to give them a nice little timeout. So Wizarding Green, whatever your name is, we're going to go ahead and put you in timeout for 30 minutes. No, 10 minutes. Enjoy it. All right.
And by the way, Bryan and I have been on an elevator together and it did not crash out.
No.
By the way, I also do this entire show with my dick on a table. I just have it.
Yeah. No, and I mean, dude, I put on
mine would never reach. I'm Irish.
I put on 3 Transformers conventions. I did some great fun stuff with that. I could tell that the community wasn't with me and I stopped doing them. I put on 4 Detroit fanfares. I wanted to try to bring the old style comic book conventions back in a hotel. Everybody had a fun time. I still get 10 years, 11 years later, people come up to me and go, dude, that was one of the most fun conventions I've ever been to. I've never been to anything like that. But I just wasn't making money doing it, so I moved on. And once again, these guys were not going to get me to buy their boxes, move on. And, you know, I mean, I ran the comic book store the way everybody else did. I played the variant game like everybody else did. And then I moved on and I started my own thing that isn't reliant on a comic book industry as much as other stores are.
Rye just dropped a $5 super chat because of you, Wizarding. So thank you, Wizarding, for coming here and acting like a fool. Because Rye just dropped $5 saying, LOL, Wizarding will patiently wait the 30 minutes to continue trolling. And that'll be fun.
Who else could that be? It has
That's
to be
the guy.
One of the brothers.
No, he's probably the guy that called me right wing or some bullshit. He called me a bootlicker in that comment as well as this comment.
I didn't see that.
So, and the funny thing is that you got to be careful, you guys, when you try to troll on the internet, that you don't use your real name and your real account, because people will find out where you fucking hang out and do shit and fuck with you there, and that's not good. So just be careful out there if you're wanting to be a troll. I'm not saying I would do that. I think that's cowardly.
And everybody knows I went after EVS about the whole about the, instead of being a united.
Oh, that's right.
Industry,
You got pounced on from that.
Yes, he did. We made a clip about it. It was fucking awesome.
It was hysterical.
Yeah.
EVS he's got a good sense of humor. I can say that about him. I don't he told everybody it's time for him to get back in the mainstream, and then he made the F comment.
Yeah,
about
that was pretty ridiculous. But yeah,
how stupid can you be?
That's his brand, though. Now,
you guys, when we do these, we all love your drama alert segments and stuff, but guys, I'm talking like chat guys, right? Like, there's so much drama that happens in the industry that we just can't talk about or don't talk about. I have at least 3 stories that would break the internet of what happened this weekend between a creator.
Oh yeah, you told us about that.
Oh god, there's so much more. There's cosplay drama, there's creator drama,
dude, I hear the cosplay community. It is incestuous. You're right. It's very, and the reason why I think that is because, and you guys let me know if I'm wrong here, if I'm off base. I can always have my mind changed. But the fact that a lot of comic people come from a place where they're into comics because they don't get along with people, or they're a little, I don't know what the word is, but they have sociological issues where they just can't be on a team, can't play well together. And there's a lot of people in the world of comics that are like that. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying that's just the way I feel it. So you run into a lot of people in the comics world that are, have that same type of minds. Introverts. Yes. Thank you, Lisa. Introverts. They're very introverted. So they don't know how to deal with pushback. And so their first thing to deal with pushback is to call you racist, call you homophobic, whatever, instead of having a constructive. Can't argue
with your argument.
Yeah, they can't argue with your argument. So, and it just is what it is. But it's funny.
They always also feel their careers are so tenuative, right?
Yeah.
That anything could put them out.
Yeah. Well, that, and then it's all based around ego. I have
the real Satan.
There's 2 specific people who they hate the ground I walk on, and I don't know why, because I've been nothing but good to them. I gave them jobs, I gave them guidance.
Those are the worst.
I taught them everything they know. And they just can't stand me. I had a group of former employees start a club to shit talk me, and every time somebody would quit or be let go, they would invite them into the group. They had camping trips, the Hate Dennis camping trips. And
Dennis
I was like, and at no point do I ever get credit for bringing them all together.
United in hate, right?
Yeah.
I had a group of employees go after me. I still can't talk about it, but they went after me hard. I still want to counter sue them. I can't, but it was ridiculous.
The thing is just let haters be haters. There's nothing you can do about it. Once that dam has been broken, just move on and build a new dam someplace else.
That's exactly what I did. I mean, I'm still here. I'm still doing what I'm doing. It's funny when you hear rumors about yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially when they're so off base.
Actually, and here's a funny one. So I had a buddy who used to buy a ton of toys. And my buddy passed away 3 years ago. Rest his soul.
I'm sorry for that.
But he would call me up and go, "Hey, Dennis, I was just reading on one of the Facebook toy groups that you went into Five Below and bought all of the vintage collection action figures." And he goes, I'm like, "What? Dude, I don't even go to Five Below. Do they have vintage Star Wars figures?" "Well, they did until I bought them all and you got blamed for it." And I was just like, "Oh, that's great. I'm like the Kaiser Sose in a lot of different communities. I do everything that's wrong and get credit for it when I don't even do it.
I want to switch, just not switch topics, but this gives me a chance to talk about, switch ears. Yeah. One of the things that you said backstage, Emmett, was it's been going crazy at your store with people bringing in stuff to buy, and you've been buying collections and stuff. Talk about that a little bit, because this has been a big week for you.
Yeah. I mean, I've bought since the show. So Wednesday of last week all the way today. We don't take collections on Tuesdays because it's only me and my son at the shop, and they were all walk-ins, and they just brought it in, and they were like, "Oh, I'm here and I have the stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." I bought baseball cards and Playboy magazines and DVDs, train sets, more sports cards, 2 Furbies, brand new in the box from the 90s. Like, it's crazy. And then last week, 6 comic book collections, not big ones. One was 4 long boxes.
6 little ones equal a big one, Emmett.
Yeah, no, it was. Well, it ended up being 4. She said, "Give her 6 and make it hurt." I put it in and out twice and hit her with a brick.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey-o.
Wait a second. I'm smoking, and I just did this with my non-smoking.
Shout out to Rye again with another super chat. He says, "There is people out there that will hate you just because you are a good person and you're a good boss." And that is true.
You make them feel guilty.
Yeah.
If you make people feel guilty, they will not like you. I get it a lot because I'm very righteous.
Well, you know what that reminds me of? That famous thing that a lot of us had happen with our parents. When your parents, my dad, at one point, he stopped giving us a spanking as kids and just would tell us, "I'm disappointed in you." And that was worse than any belt lashings that I would get, right? So when you have people
Hot Wheels
that
track.
Hot Wheels tracks. Or my grandma would literally, that famous saying of "go get a switch off the tree," my grandma would do that.
Yep.
And that it means that says a lot. And I think that it's funny whenever I get called right wing or homophobic or racist. It's the farthest thing from anything that I am, and that I know that I am. And so I try to just basically lead by example. And that's why everything that I do is on air under my real name. I'm not hiding from anybody because of that. I don't want my parents or the people that respect me to be disappointed in me. And I talk about that all the time. What people say about you when you're not there means a lot. So
well, and I just want to follow this up. Today is my 21st anniversary of ponying up and opening my store.
Wow.
My first store.
Yeah.
March 31st. We had opening day on Saturday, March 31st. And we had like 200 people through the store. And at no point did I look at the calendar in 2005 because April 1st was Easter Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, you can't be closed your second day. I guess I'll just sit in the store and see if anybody comes in. And like 5 people came in the entire day. Are you guys open on Easter? Yeah. Well, we opened yesterday, and
there's a lot more atheists than there used to be.
Yeah. But it's humbling to have that huge grand opening. I missed it. Give me on playback with that one. It's humbling that you have this huge grand opening. This is your newest venture. You have to stay open because you don't want to close your second day, and 5 people come in, and you're like, oh God, did I make a mistake? 21 years later. Yes, I've met a lot of assholes. I've had a lot of people bomb my account, but I've had some of the best interactions with great people. My first customer messaged me this morning, first thing.
Wow,
and
that's
just said,
cool.
"Happy anniversary." I mean, guys, it's that old Dr. Seuss, "Oh, the places you'll go." 21 years ago, I had no idea I'd be sitting here talking my old stories and, preaching a different gospel. And with all of this drama for the last 24 hours, doesn't matter a bit. The people I've touched over 21 years have just been the best people ever, and a lot of them are still in my lives. And stop it. I can say touch meaningful way.
Careful, you get a bad review for touching people.
And tomorrow is the 4th anniversary of the new Wonder World, the new business model. And so that's going to roll in. We're going to have a cake at the new store and, celebrate that new business model that I just love. And it's made me the happiest out of all 21 years.
That's the most important right there. That's the most important. Guys, please give a thumbs up, guys. Hit the like button. We hit 200 watchers a little bit ago, and there were 66 likes last time I saw. Just hook it up, guys. Give a like.
Oh yeah, amen. I want to talk about.
Congrats to Dennis, man. 21 years. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's huge.
This is interesting. Because we talked about this a little bit last week. The Daredevil blind bags. Have you guys got your Daredevil blind bags in?
I did.
Yes.
What did you think about them?
I opened 2 so far, and they're not damaged.
Good.
Exactly.
Yay!
The only thing is the 2 that I opened are the exact same variant.
You're batting 1,000.
Yeah.
And I only got 10. So you think I'd get a little bit better mix, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Here's
so looking for some sketches again, huh?
This is
that's the Miller.
John. That's John Bernthal. The middle one is Frank Miller. This is Alex Malev, signed by Charlie Cox.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of variants. Let me go ahead and find all the variants so we can show them.
I'll tell you what, I like.
All 100
That's
of mine.
probably the best Miller I've seen in years.
We can make that a cover instead of the other weird stuff.
He definitely put down the phone and picked up the pencil.
Yeah, man. That's really good.
Yeah.
6 promotions in a row. Great. I don't think I ordered any of the cover A, B, C, D's, or E's because they're all going to be in the blind bag. So
if you're putting them in the blind bag, why am I buying them separately?
Yeah, I really think I might just open. I mean, I'll sell some in our live show, but
how many do you care if you'd say how many you bought?
1,000.
Okay.
Look at the DeCall 1 in 500. Oh my God. This cover is fire.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That almost looks like a David Mack.
That is
a little
phenomenal.
DeCall has I wish he was more consistent with his art like this, but every once in a while he just hits a banger.
Banger.
Yeah.
Is that a watercolor?
Bro,
I don't know the art.
It looks like an ink wash.
Okay.
All these are pretty good. To be honest,
have anybody watched the series yet? Didn't it just start?
Did you guys see the John Tyler Christophers at Orlando?
Yeah, the Punisher one.
I saw him.
The Punisher one, and then he had a slipcase, which is the workaround for the acetate. So you bought the comic book, and he gave you the slipcase if you bought 3 of the comic books, and when you slide that slipcase over it, it looked gorgeous. It's all hand cut.
Yeah, I had a dude come to me, and he said, "Hey, Shawn, do you think this is? Have you seen the JTC slipcase or whatever you want to call it, cover?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." He's like, "Do you think it's legit?" I was like, "I don't know. I haven't even seen it." So he brought one over to me, and he goes, "I don't want to buy this and post it up to sell it and have you do a video on it telling me that I'm scamming everybody." And I was like, "Oh my God, dude." I was like, "Let me check it out." And I saw it and I was like, "This is really cool." He probably got permission from Marvel because he's the artist.
Yep.
He owns the art and he didn't even put it on the slipcase. It doesn't have anything copyrighted on the little slip cover. He did it the right way. The complete opposite of those other dudes.
He figured out how to do the same thing without doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Create something.
Yeah, those covers don't whatever you want to call them with the little
concentric circles and
it just doesn't hit with me as much as his negative space.
I thought the Daredevil was great. I don't like the other ones, but I thought the Daredevil was great.
So my son and I were looking at college campuses in Johnstown, and he invited us over for lunch. And he was like, "Dennis, I'm telling you, I think I've hit on the next thing. that I'm going to be known for. And he was describing it. I'm like, okay, that's really cool. You know, like, oh, you know how Daredevil puts out his waves and you can see and he's describing it. And when he posted that, I was like, holy fuck.
You know what's funny about that?
Different.
He, shout out to John again, who's just a class act of a dude.
Good dude, yeah.
Yeah, when I saw him in MegaCon, he immediately remembered coming on the show and everything, and he was very nice. And he signed a bunch of you guys know, if you're longtime fans of Beyond Wednesdays, I love the Witchblade negative space variant, the Dia de los Muertos. So I brought like 5 or 6 of those for him to sign, and he was telling me, we were talking, because I brought up to him like, oh man, I wish it would have been so cool. It would have been so cool if you were able to do your original idea where the circles, the concentric circles on Daredevil were kind of raised, almost like Braille, which he originally wanted. But, you know, he couldn't do because of printing reasons, obviously. But man, that would have been amazing if you, and he's right. Like that's the new thing. The Venom, I like the Venom one better than the Punisher one. But the thing I like about him the most is there's this weird things that happens with those covers because of how you look at them. They almost look like they're in movement, kind of almost like those what is the Mallrats one? The schooners.
Yeah. Sometime thing.
Yes. Yeah. So very.
It's got
very
an
cool.
optical illusion to it when you kind of put it at the light.
Yeah. It's very cool. Like it almost looks like it's moving. Yeah. So
yeah, I've got the comments saying that Daredevil gets pretty good. I've loved all of them so far.
Did you? Well, you busted it. Did you read it? The new Daredevil, #1.
No, I skimmed through it. There's a key. There's a big first appearance of the new villain.
So
man. It's good.
I want to give a heads up on all this. I've been holding on to this for a while, and I haven't bought any. So you guys know, like, I don't buy new comics. I read them, but I don't buy new comics. But I've heard that for the first 8 issues, you want to buy at least the first 8 issues. So that's a heads up to everybody out there speculating. There's going to be a lot of first appearances in this series.
Who's writing it? Stephanie
Phillips, yeah, and
Phillips, yeah.
Okay.
Dan Panosian, Stephanie Phillips, and is it Lee Garbett? I think that are the creative team on it right now. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But they've been doing a really good job promoting it on their IGs, TikToks. Again,
she's big on TikTok.
That's so important. Stephanie Phillips, great job, great work promoting a book you're working on. And we talked about this on the channel before. More creators need to promote the books they're working on. It'll help everybody involved, and it's great for the industry. Utilize your social media.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Marvel is kind of banking on her. They invited her to the Daredevil premiere, so she was on the red carpet. You know, that Grimm got bought, which gives her a lot of
Oh yeah.
So that gives her a lot of Hollywood juice, which you know all the comic companies love that shit. So
yeah.
But I've always enjoyed her writing. So I mean, I was hyped for this, and I was not let down. It's awesome.
So I want to bring up something kind of interesting that I've seen over the last couple of weeks that I've been meaning to talk about on the channel, but I haven't had a chance. Did you guys see this? $1,000 bounty placed on the Black Cat mystery facsimile graded by CGC at 10.0. So what is this? This is not a what was the company that was doing?
Is this that company
Macroverse? No.
Macro.
No, this is a different company, and this is something that we've seen across the board with a lot of these pre-code horror and good girl and pre-code books. They're in public domain now, so anybody's able to do basically a reprint on them. And this is from a new group that I'm not familiar with. They might have been around a while. I don't know. Pixelmon Media. And you've heard of them?
No.
Yeah, neither have I.
I just got to say something. I'm going to be the contrarian here. If you were Pixelmon Media, wouldn't you put out a $50,000 bounty on a book that you sent off to get graded that nobody's heard of?
Well, you know who put out the bounty? it's I don't know if they put out the bounty or if
Vince?
it's through them. Yeah, Vince at Metropolis.
I got to see Vince at C2E2 and talked to him for a while.
Did he
we
mention
were right
this?
next to Comic Link. No, he didn't mention this.
Who put it out? Vince who?
Vince Zurzolo of Metropolis Comics.
Zurzolo from Metropolis Comics.
Yeah.
Who also owns Comic
Link. Yeah.
Comic Link,
okay.
yeah.
Pixelmon Media. I just looked at their Instagram.
So this goes back
to a foreign company.
I don't know, but this goes back to the whole thing, that main point of the show. Anything is worth what anyone is willing to pay for it.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty interesting. But again, this is a Kickstarter, and this harkens back to another thing that we've been talking about lately, is that Kickstarter is now being focused on more in the collectibles world, especially comics. Shout out to Cover Price, who's doing a weekly Kickstarter look-in at all the cool new Kickstarter stuff. And through Cover Price, I found this. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Golden Age Good Girl comic book facsimile collection.
You know, can we just segue off to the side for a second?
Yeah.
None of these original creators' families, I know a lot of these have kind of drifted into public domain and nobody owns the rights anymore, but none of the creators or creators' families are getting a penny from all of these reprints of their family's work. And it sits a little uneasy that we're celebrating all of these Golden Age reprints, and it's just kind of, robber baron type stuff.
Go to his IG, Brian. They're all on their IG. All those covers are on there.
Pixelmon?
It's Pixel, M-O-N, Pixelmon Media. They only got 42 posts, so they're just started just for...
Yeah, well, that one says it was graded April 26.
Yeah.
And how do you grade April 26?
Well,
was
they
it
probably
last year, or
well,
was
they probably sent in a bunch of books to this was probably ahead of time as part of their tiers. Like, Mark, when he was doing his Kickstarters, you could do a all CGC tier where you got every book in CGC. So I don't have a problem with that.
But I mean, April 26th is...
There's a tool you can make your own label for promotional purposes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
that's what they did.
This is very interesting. But are they the same people that are putting this out? I wonder if they are.
So, because
they are.
It looks like it. Yep.
Every image I click on, it says facsimile available in Kickstarter, link in bio.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Where does it say? So
I'm going to do a hard pass on all of this reprint stuff.
I
Good
like
luck
it
with it, but yeah.
The only reason I like it is because I think that because so many of these are so hard to get, if you're just a fan, yeah, they're impossible to get. Like Startling Comics is one of my grail books that I want to own.
I own that.
You own one of these? I love that. That's one of my all-time favorites.
I bought it because of the robot.
Yeah, yeah.
That Phantom Lady is public domain, isn't it?
Yeah, all this stuff is, I believe.
I thought Phantom Lady was owned by either
but
Marvel or
there's a difference between public domain for the character and just grabbing a scan and reprinting it at your own benefit.
Wasn't that what that one company did, right? All those four books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like writing all new, right? If it's different if you wrote all new material.
Right. And if you hired an artist, not AI,
it's not going to sell like
Shawn.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And you reprinted it, you redid page for page, panel for panel, but they're not doing that. They're just grabbing the art and just reprinting it.
Well, here's the problem, and it's understandable. Like DJ says, whatever happened to the horror Kickstarter from Macroverse? It never panned out. I'm leery. And that's the only problem that projects like this are going to have an issue with. And Macroverse did ship, but again, they fucked up a couple of times in the whole thing. So here's what I will say. I like this project because I agree that these books are so hard to find. And if you're a Pre-Code fan and a Good Girl fan, this is something that is worth looking at if you just want the books and you want to check them out and you want to have something in your collection. But if they need to fulfill and they need to do it correctly. And I'm hoping that they do that. I would love to reach out to if there's anybody from Pixelmon that sees this. I would love to maybe hear more about your project.
What was their previous Kickstarter? It says they have 2 created.
Let's take a look. Cold Lava, issue 1. So it looks like maybe their own IP that they created.
Yeah.
So
It made with 32,000.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
It looked,
yeah.
I mean, this one, honestly, I would expect this one to be a little higher for what it is.
Yeah,
It's only at what, 23,000?
yeah. It's what? Let's see here.
Only 66 backers.
I think that's the reason why is probably because, unfortunately, of what Macroverse, the people are leery because of Macroverse. You know.
Well, and honestly,
can we divide that? Because let's do that math. 66 people have spent $23,000.
Yeah, I do that too. That kind of lets you know if there's any tomfoolery going on.
Yeah.
What we say, 23,000 divided by 66, 348 average pledge.
That isn't crazy.
So then you go look at the
$300 for a whole set.
Well, you can look at the tiers on the right and see how many people actually
They saw whatever Mega did, and they just said, "Oh, we could do that too."
Now,
Man, this is the business I need to get into.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing with this, though, is that if this is all public domain, anybody can do this.
Yeah.
I mean, and it says right here, here's what gets me. It says strictly limited, not available anywhere other than Kickstarters. I could
Till
print
tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Shawn, you could buy a set, scan them all, and start cranking them out at $5 less a cover, and that's
I'm sure they're available online. There's probably Library of Congress has free issues you can download.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, but they're not.
Isn't it Michigan, the University of Michigan, that has the big comic book collection?
MSU, actually.
Let me go ahead and take. I want to take a look at this video. Let's take a look here.
The United States in the 1940s. America enters World War II. Inspired by the artwork of George Petty and Alberto Vargas, pilots paint.
I love Vargas. That's my OG.
Yeah. George Petty and Alberto Vargas.
Look at how beautiful that is, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pilots paint beautiful women across warplanes. At the movies, Rita Hayworth rules the box office. In comic books, good girl art takes over.
That beautiful
Now, this Kickstarter is bringing to life the greatest good girl art of the Golden Age in facsimile editions. This campaign offers the 10 most valuable Golden Age good girl comic books of all time, and a selection of the rarest and most expensive classics across all genres. Other tiers include the greatest hits of Bob Lubber's covers, Jungle Girls, Phantom Lady, The Good Girls of Crime, Planet Comics, and The Good Girls of Horror, Romance, and the all-time classics for all the good girl art that doesn't fit into the other categories. Classics like Phantom Lady 17 and Startling Comics 49 have less than 150 copies in the world that have ever been graded by CGC, making many of these comics some of the rarest comic books ever printed in any genre in any grade. Terrific Comics 5, Planet Comics 15, and Cinderella Love 25 and 29 have less than 50 total copies graded on the CGC census. And if you thought that was rare, there are 20.
What's on the inside?
They haven't said yet.
20 or fewer copies ever graded of Teenage Temptations 2, Cinderella Love 26, Teenage Romances 11, 41, and 43, and Diary Secrets 29. While Super Mystery Comics 3 and All Picture, All True Love Story 1 have less than 10 copies ever graded, Diary Secrets from 1949 is the most rare, with only 3 copies ever graded by CGC.
One suggestion I'll give, this is constructive criticism. You're better off not having AI voiceover.
When you're stealing
probably
the book,
don't
why
speak.
can't?
Well, I don't know. They're
don't
not
speak
necessarily
English.
stealing the book. I wouldn't say that.
Join us as we showcase a visual journey through an era and preserve the beauty of these rare and valuable comic books. Whether you're a collector, a fan of vintage art, or someone simply curious about the history of comics, together we'll bring good girl art into the spotlight it truly deserves. Let's make comic book history.
Wow, bro, that's a crazy cover that I've never seen.
Wonder World Comics
together.
This right. Where is it? Hold on here.
You got that's sound.
Is it sound that I'm pressing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
There-
Holy
oh.
shit. Thank you.
There you go.
Join us as we showcase a visual journey through an era and preserve the beauty of these rare and valuable comic books. Whether you're a collector, a fan of vintage art, or someone simply curious about the history of comics, together we'll bring good girl art into the spotlight.
That cover right there, that Rangers comics, look at that. That's crazy.
That's a great cover.
Yeah.
They're also trimming them down to modern size.
Is that what they're doing?
So
Oh, maybe
it
that's
says right here in the Kickstarter. I'm reading through it, trying to see what's on the interiors.
Yeah. Bonafide all
It
time.
says just like DC Comics Golden Age facsimile key issue program featuring Detective Comics 27, Batman 1, Action Comics 1, Superman 1. All comic books in this Kickstarter will be printed to modern comic book trim size, 6.625 by 10.25.
Oh, there we go.
So it's not preserving the original.
That recent Batman #1 that they put out, DC put out, was Golden Age size.
Interesting.
The one we just got. I don't know if you bought any, Sean.
Well, here's what I will say about that, and I agree with K405 on this one. It's good for short box size, and we've talked about that before.
No, that's true.
Yeah. So,
but if you're going to market yourself as creating
a
the
reprint,
originals,
yes,
then the originals.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's what those other guys did, right? Was they scanned painstakingly the interiors of those pages.
You lose aspect ratio, so you're not preserving it.
Yeah.
I still can't find what's on the inside of these books.
But it doesn't matter. Public domain is raped all the time. It's not anything new.
I just think that
Dynamite. Sorry,
go ahead.
go ahead, Jim.
Good. No, go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say Dynamite, Dehalthoris,
superpowers.
All the superpower stuff. John Carter, Warlord of Mars, like
those were all reimaginations of public
Alex
domain
Ross,
characters.
Daredevil,
and a beautiful presentation. Shout out to Nikki Barucci.
No, I agree.
That was the way you do it. And at no point did Nikki owns Vampirella. So when Nikki makes the 5th reprint of Vampirella #1 as part of a promotion, I don't have a problem with it because he owns that lock, stock, and barrel. But none of these are owned by anybody reproducing them. And I just can't stand by that because there's somebody out there whose grandfather created these, and they could reach out and make an offer like, hey, your grandfather did this incredible work. We'd love to work with you to reprint. I mean, Schomburg, all of these people have an heir somewhere. And just because the publisher lapsed doesn't mean you get to steal that creator's art.
Well, so I agree with you, but I'm gonna push back a little bit, bro. Like, what about so Nikki did take Dehalthoris, reimagined it, did this, but who was it? Burroughs or somebody created her, whoever that was.
Yeah, but the Burroughs estate sold those properties throughout all the different aspects.
Somebody owned that before it went to public domain.
Right.
Somebody.
Right. Yeah. And the Burroughs estate has always maintained that, they licensed Tarzan, they licensed John Carter. And when it slipped into the public domain, those characters open up just like Mickey Mouse or Steamboat Willie, just like Superman's going to happen. Wonder Woman's going to happen soon. Those are the realities of public domain. And yes, that, and thankfully the Disney lawyers pushed it as far as they could before it totally.
And you're also talking about I get it because we love the artists and what they've done for us, but they didn't have the deal that some of the newer artists now have.
Oh yeah.
They had no ownership.
Nothing.
Right.
Those guys were one and done, and they probably got paid $5 a page or $1 a page. It
was a lot of money back then.
Right. But the point is nobody was, Neil Adams wasn't negotiating for them to get a cut from dead publishers. Most of those publishers died or absorbed into other publishing houses. And I just think that if you are going to do these reprints, a little bit of due diligence to say, we tracked down the creators of these 5, and that's the 5 we're going to do, so we can give them a percent.
What if they gave to the what's the fund
Hero Initiative?
Yeah. What if
I would love it. I would love it if they
I think that
did
would be
anything.
a thing.
But it
Shout out
just
to
feels
Rye
like this is
for the
we
$5
can
super
do
chat.
this because nobody's going to sue us to do if we do it. So therefore, we're going to benefit from it.
Rye says, I think the
I just-
remaining estate is allowed to license at a discount, right? I don't know. I would
not
imagine,
sure.
yeah.
Once it
Yeah.
hits public domain, you have no longer any rights.
Yeah.
to it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Steamboat
music has
Willie.
a different. Music has a different. Comic books is different from novels.
I want to
And
ask.
you
all
can't
different
just
copyright
reprint Steamboat Willie as a new cartoon exactly as Walt Disney drew it.
Yeah.
That is not what public domain is meant
No,
for.
it has to be exactly like Steamboat Willie. It can't
Yeah.
be any other version of Mickey
Mouse, yeah.
Right? No, but what I'm saying is you can't just clip Steamboat Willie and charge to show it. You have to create a new Steamboat Willie based on just Steamboat Willie.
Speaking of that, this gives me a great segue that I want to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
So the Why Not Willie thing happened. You guys seen that by
No.
a
What is
retailer? There's a retailer out there that put out a book called Why Not Willie, which is Steamboat Willie. Well, that retailer has supposedly locked up an artist, a big artist right now, by the name of Ito, to an exclusive deal. Now, I talked about this.
Ito?
No, different Ito. This is the Ito that did our Thundercats 24 cover that I did.
Okay.
So,
I'm like, damn, the Ito, my Ito would be a bigger score.
so he's an amazing new artist that is watercolor. He's killing it. He's a great artist. But word has come out that he has quote unquote signed an exclusive deal with the said retailer, and said retailer is now contacting anyone that that does a variant with him, saying you're not allowed to do this. I have him wrapped up exclusively. How are you allowed to do this? And it brought up the question in our recent drama alert that is it smart for an artist to lock up a deal exclusively with one retailer? I personally think it's not smart. But I want to get your guys' opinions as being retailers in this game. What are your guys' thoughts? Shawn, I want to know, what are your thoughts on locking up, having an artist be exclusive with one retailer?
So I've had exclusives before, and I'm very transparent and honest with artists. Here's what I like to do. I like to tell if I have a new guy and I think he's really good and I'm going to do some covers to get him started off. You can't just jump right to like Marvel or DC with these guys. You got to start them off on indie projects. I always throw out like a Vampirella or a Red Sonja, Dynamite, super easy to work with. The approval process is easy. I've gotten lots of guys their first covers on those properties. I always ask them, at least give me the first like 5, because these other retailers, we're ravenous for each other's stuff. If we see an artist work with somebody, everyone's going to be bombarding them. Can I get a cover from you? It's crazy. So a lot of guys have exclusive deals. Some of them, it's not like in writing and contracts and stuff like that. Most of it's just a handshake and a Facebook message. It can be smart for an artist depending who it is. So if you're going to partner with a major retailer that's going to treat you right and represent you correctly and put your stuff out there well, it's probably a smart move because you can probably negotiate a higher cover rate. They may kick you back some signature money. Maybe they're going to bring you out to cons. If I'm going to sign an exclusive deal with somebody, I'm going to make sure they are very happy with me and they're going to make as much money as they possibly can. And I'm also going to benefit from that business relationship also. It can bite them in the ass if they don't know any better and they sign with a much smaller person who can't represent them well. The analogy I like to use is this. If you are super, super talented baseball player and a high school team is offering you $1 million to go play, but so are the Yankees, would you go play for the high school team? No, because your exposure is not there. You're raising that team up. They're lowering you down, if that makes sense. And it sounds kind of shitty, but it's true. Some retailers, they're not that big out there or have a good enough rep or no one knows who they are. You get a superstar artist with them, and people are going to be like, well, they're not as good as if they were with like the Comic Mint or Big Time Collectibles or KRS or 616 or maybe me, where it's going to look, like, oh, they're with them. Oh, snap. It's like, oh, you're with Billy Bob's Comics, who's done 2 exclusives. Who's that? So
shout out real quick. Shout out to Rye. He says, it seems self-evident going back to the Rochta Lynn thing. It's whatever her handlers was going to pay her for the appearance. And I guess he's trying to,
it's and what Three Rivers said too, it's like it just depends on if you're an artist, you do your own. But here's the problem though, is that now you have to, the artist should do what artists do best. They should draw. They shouldn't have to worry about making a website, posting the cover. You got to set up your shipping on the website, all your stuff. Now you got to, what's your tax rate you're going to publish? What's your HSS tariff code? All the shit you don't think you have to worry about. Then you got to fulfill everything. How much are Geminis? How much do I have tape? I need a label printer. All this crap you got to worry about. Just make comics. Can you make more doing your own? Yeah, but you got to worry about all the crap. You got to hire people. Now you're a small business owner. And some artists can do that, no problem. That's fine. But most artists I know don't want to do that. And I've seen them fail that say, I can do it on my own. I don't need this guy. You're absolutely right. You can. And they try to do it. And next thing you know, they're working with somebody else because they don't want to do all that freaking work. You know what I mean?
Once they realize how much work it actually is, they don't have any clue about how much work it is.
It's kind of a touchy question to answer. So can it be a good idea? Yeah. Can it be a bad idea? Yeah. It just depends on the deal you work out. I wouldn't sign exclusively for like a year or something like that. Like give it a few months, see how it goes. Do 2 or 3 covers. Like you also got to be aware, are they asking you to do tidal wave books or are they asking you to do legit books? Like you got to do your due diligence and kind of know who you're working with. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's kind of a long answer to a short question, but
I mean, not for the creator, but for the business owner, it's great to lock in. I mean, I saw Brian showed me the one that he did for you, and I was completely blown away. So it's great for the guy who signed him. It's phenomenal for him. If he gets that kind of work out of him, like on a regular basis, those books are going to sell huge.
But it's also
but it may also ruin the relationship and you'll never get like.
True.
I only have one comment on this.
Mm-hmm.
Black Flag Comics had an exclusive with Clayton Crane. Didn't work out so good for them.
Well, there's always your shitty outliers. If it's also very immature, man. If this dude is messaging other people, where'd you get this cover?
And he is. I've had multiple people reach out to me and say, "Hey, what's going on here? I have this situation going on." And as a matter of fact, he did it to a publisher, from what I hear. I'm not for sure on that, but
I mean that, and that's between the artist and maybe their rep if they have. I'm sure he has a rep. I know he does actually.
Yes.
So that's between those people. Well, in the retail, and the retailer is kind of. If I was a retailer, I'd be like, who the hell are you coming at me like this?
Well, if I was the guy, if I was Ito, I would have pushed out a bunch of stuff before I fucking signed that.
Yeah, you could do that. But if I'm going to ask somebody to be exclusive, I've had people asking me if I would take them exclusive, and I've said no because you owe 6 covers to 6 other people.
Well, didn't what's her name? Peach Momoko sign exclusive with Marvel.
Yeah.
But then she still was allowed to do other publishers after a certain period of time.
So maybe that wasn't exclusive. Maybe
probably
it was exclusive, but I don't think it was a long-term exclusive.
Right.
And I think it hurt her because Marvel fucking put her on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's another problem. If you get overused, you go from being hot to being another cover from that person.
Yeah.
Another cover from that person.
Yeah.
So people
that's not as good as, and then they start comparing them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just
honestly,
think
not every cover every artist does is fire. I mean, just because you're a great artist, you can produce bum covers too.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
I think I think you're kind of pigeonholing yourself if you do that as an artist or a creator. because like if this is about your asking price for a cover, there will always be people that are willing to pay your asking price, and this goes back to what we were talking about. That's a big deal right now. We obviously this show is a big deal. The big point is about asking price, and there will always be a retailer, especially for Ito. Like he's right now top 5 cover artists on secondary market value type thing. Everybody's looking for anything he puts out. We've talked about him immensely, and he's actually, in my opinion, really good artist. But you're pigeonholing yourself because now you could have had a great relationship with another retailer that you'll never have, because this said retailer is calling and bugging everybody saying, how are you shouldn't be doing a book with this guy because I'm lined up exclusive with him. There's a problem there. That guy shouldn't be contacting the retailer. You should be contacting Ito. You shouldn't be, ear beating a publisher because the publisher put out said book. Like it's very weird. And again, it goes to that whole introvert, non-social type, ideology that's in comic books. And again, your reputation is everything in business. So
yeah.
Also about tonight.
Yes. Yeah. So I just, find it very interesting, and we'll see how it all plays out in the end. But, again, another thing that we've talked about relentlessly is the retailer game is like sharks in a chummed water, man. It is
crabs in a bucket.
Yeah.
Because we're not actually partners with the publishers.
Yep.
We're the lowest of the low. They would rather not sell to us. We're a necessary evil to them. So then we always feel like we have to kind of game the system.
Well,
which,
I don't know. I don't know if
And
necessarily
4 years
gaming
ago to tomorrow, I said, fuck all that bullshit. And I'm the happiest guy in the industry.
I don't know if you have to necessarily game the system, but the dynamic in the past, 20, 30, 40 years ago, the creator kind of needed the retailer to sell their product, right? That was where your product got sold. Now that's not the case. Creators don't need retailers necessarily. But in the long run, it is
1,000% disagree.
Hold on. In the long run, what they don't realize is they do, because there are certain retailers out there that if you work with them, it's going to help your game immensely. So a lot of
outside
retailers
the variant game, writers and artists for Marvel and DC wouldn't survive at Marvel and DC if retailers weren't selling their books. 3,500 copies of a variant are not going to keep you working at Marvel and DC.
No, it's different sides of the same industry. The guys ordering weekly FOC books are much different than the guys ordering, like John from 616, who's ordering 4 to 5 variants a week from different publishers, all the publishers. It's completely different universe. The money's different, much bigger risks involved.
Way
You're
more
dealing
bigger
with
risk.
partnerships with other retailers. You're basically a sub distributor because these books come in and you got to receive those books, break them out, ship them out to your partners, still fulfill your orders. You're coordinating every cover you get. Who wants 5%, 10%, 15%? How many is going to go on my website? How many is going to be saved for whatnot? How many am I putting on eBay? And you got to coordinate all these numbers. God forbid you get damages in. Then you're either dealing with ordering damage replacements for damages. Who's getting theirs? Who's not getting theirs? It's a lot of freaking work, man.
It is.
And you could, you're paying $100,000 a week invoices. It's nuts, but you can make, $200,000 a week.
I want to talk about that real quick because Shawn, you put out a post on your IG recently, this post right here, where you're showing the loadout queue for C2E2.
Oh
and
my God.
I am blown away by the cost. I was talking to somebody at about MegaCon, and they said they knew a retailer that shipped a pallet of books from their home on I believe the West Coast to MegaCon for like $2,000, and it cost $2,000 to get that pallet of books from outside of MegaCon to inside the floor. The amount of money that it's cost retailers and the time it costs, like if you're paying the amount of money you're paying to get your product to the floor, this type of shit shouldn't happen.
New York's worse, right?
If you
New
work
York
smarter,
with the unions, it's way more.
If you work smarter, not harder, you don't have to worry so much. I pull up in front of the Hyatt. I know every bellman there. They load all of my inventory onto bell carts. They push it over to the convention center, up to the convention floor, drop it right at my booth, and I usually tip them about $100 a cart.
And this is at C2E2?
At C2E2.
Wow. That's interesting. I've never heard that.
We have to, I mean, this year we did it much differently. I had a very, very small booth this year. So we sold all of our 6-foot tables. So we didn't have to bring any tables back. Yeah, I have so many 6-foot tables in my store. I could start a 6-foot table store. But we did 3 trips down the elevator with our dolly, and we were able to load everything in my truck. And right before they were letting people in, we were able to leave there. We drove back 3 hours. We got it. The timeline's right there. 10:15 got back to the store. 10:35 unloaded the truck. 11:30 started another live sale. I got home at 3. I have from 3 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So 9 hours to go home, take a shower, go to sleep, unpack, get up, take a shower, go back to work. And that was today. So, and all day we're doing stuff, and now I'm here live with you guys. So it's not.
Luckily you drove and didn't try to fly.
It's funny. Funny because Shawn, I was talking to Leg the other day, and we were just kind of bullshitting. Shout out to my boy Leg. And he said, I worked corporate life and had a corporate job forever. And I went in for 8 hours a day and got paid so much a month. And, now I'm working on my own. I thought it was going to be better, but I'm working 16 hours a day, and it's like constant. I love what I'm doing, but I'm having to put more into it. And that is the case. No great thing is achieved without hard work.
Yeah, I say it all the time. And you know what? I'm willing to do what other people aren't. Like most people, they get back from this con at 10:30 at night. They're like, I'm going to bed. I was like, we're going live. And my Ernie, my employee, was like, I'm down. Let's do it. And I'm like, fuck. And we made another $7,000 that night on a live show, just from going live from 11 to probably 2. So my wife understands. She's like, she made the comment right there. 3 a.m. arrive home to see your lovely wife. Like she gets it,
Yeah.
She's totally supportive of what I do. And I could never go back to working for somebody else again. Never.
Yeah.
As these two guys can attest, they never go back to working for someone else either.
Yeah. I want to be my own boss. Totally. And you got to put in the work and the effort to do it.
Yeah. So. And it's different. Like, like Dennis says all the time, like I got out of that world, and that's great, man. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you are happy with what you're doing and you found more peace and happiness in your life. That's awesome. You know what I mean? It's not for everybody to continue to do this, and you found a good path, and Emmet has a great way he runs his store, and he's happy. I run my business the way I do. I'm very happy doing it, and I don't think one's better than the other. Like each has its own set of challenges. Each has its own rewards.
Yep, absolutely.
I may be moving away from the store. An opportunity is coming my way, and I may just leave the store to be run by somebody else and go off and do something else.
You're finally going to take that porn job they offered you?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Only midgets.
Santa Claus does Dallas. It's about time.
Yeah. All my elves.
They never called me back. I guess I had my dick on the table too long. But no, it's so much work. And, when people, and a lot of people say I'm a dick, but I don't, if someone's complaining about something, it depends what it is. There's legit things to complain about, but I have low tolerance for excuses and for people that,
Zero.
I'm
My grandfather gave me the greatest piece of advice. There's no amount of money that makes you suffer a fool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I just, I know how much work I can get done in a 10-hour day. And I hear some people like, oh, I just didn't have time. And I'm like, the F you didn't have time. You just chose to do other things. Just be honest with yourself. I don't feel good. I don't give a shit. I've come to work with sinus infections and COVID at the same time. And like, I don't get to stay home and be sick. I don't feel good.
Okay, Brian, he's not talking about you.
Yeah, get out of the hospital, you freaking
I
bitch.
can't do the Monday night show because I'm in the ER.
I almost died. Crybaby.
I made a funny joke to both Dennis and Shawn. I said I haven't had tracks on my arm for 21 years this month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's fucking. They hit me on
Wait a
this
second.
vein.
You're 21 clean and sober?
21 clean and sober this month.
We're both like at 21 anniversaries.
Yep. So they hit me on this vein, and the funny thing is and I tell every what are they, phlebotomist that was doing I said I used to be able to do this with my eyes closed, no problem. Now I'm a big fucking baby when anybody wants to stick a needle in my arm, So all right, I want to talk about pickups. Anybody get any? I mean, we talked about Emmett's amazing collection. And Dennis.
By the way, one of those collections, the guy was like impatient. He wanted to go. He was just like, pay me this. And I was like, you don't want to know what it's worth. You just want this much. And I was like, okay, it seems fair. 4 Dave Stevens books.
Yeah.
4 David Stevens books in that. Sadly, I didn't take any pictures, but the the 2 Johnny Quests, the illustrated, what was it? Something illustrated, Vanguard illustrated. And,
yeah.
And a Comico preview magazine. Not a magazine. It's like a page.
Oh yeah, I got a collection of 25 of those. I gave Stein one of them.
Shout out to Rye with that $20 super chat. He says, Brian, bless you, brother. Love to hear it. Thank you, man. That goes to anybody out there.
If you get a 9.8 one on one of those, Emmett, it's like writing your own check.
Oh yeah.
Really?
These were the actual cards that you were talking about earlier, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the kids. Pokey Kids create cards. Yep. And then
thank you for bringing this to my attention. So now when it comes in, I will be looking for it.
Yeah, I would have no clue.
Yeah. No, that's the thing is there's 5,000 of these in the world. I ran into Comic Tom twice.
You know what's funny about this picture right here? So shout out to Comic Tom. When I saw Tom I talked to him before MegaCon, and I said, what's your plan for MegaCon? We got to hang out. And he's like, listen, man, I got C2E2 after MegaCon and another con after that. I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm going to actually be wearing a mask because I don't want to get sick. And I'm like, don't worry, brother. You're not going to get sick. So good on Tom that he was able to make it to C2E2 and not getting sick, man. So that's just the way it is.
I'm going to send you a couple pictures.
Okay.
If they're
on where? On IG or in the Facebook?
On IG. Yeah,
okay.
our IG.
Okay.
And I never shared that picture either. That was from MegaCon, so I'll share that one. I always try to meet one celebrity that I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So you can say that was my MegaCon that I didn't share.
This one right here?
Yeah, Uncle Hank. Cool guy. $60 for his autograph, and I think it was $100 for autograph and selfie. And then... So those 2 guys that brought the Pokemon packs, they actually had 3. They were asking a really high price, but they're very rare.
This was your table,
I just
right?
said, that's my table. So we did All the money we did out of that weekend was out of that little booth. And that's
What's the
Maggie,
collector's lair? Is that something
That's
new?
my buddy who
Okay.
I'm affiliated with, and he couldn't do this one because he had to split with
Gotcha.
Kansas City.
Gotcha.
So yeah. And then so the next one, the best cosplay the entire
Planes, trains,
weekend.
and automobiles, huh?
Tell me that isn't phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's
All
a
right,
classic
and then
movie, one of
here's-
the greatest all time.
Yeah.
So that's me, Ryan Otley, and Enid. I can't pronounce I can't remember his last name, but my son actually loves Enid, and that was their variant for PSA.
That's cool. And then look at the Invincible guy photobombing.
Yeah, and that's Michelle's husband.
That's great, dude.
DJ.
That's fucking great.
Everybody was laughing, and then they told me, "Oh yeah, Invincible decided to photobomb it." I was like, "Awesome!" So that's the packs.
That's amazing, bro. Because you know what's amazing about this? I saw an IG post talking about these 7-Eleven packs like a week ago. So, how much do you think those are each worth individually?
Well, I mean, they wanted $15K for those, the 3, and they're the possible. You could possibly get a shadowless in those packs. There are special things on the pack that Pokemon experts know. And actually, the Pokemon expert from PSA just happened to be visiting our booth, and I pulled her in and said, "Hey, what do you know?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, you could get this, you could get that. You could get the hollows be shadowless and the regulars be not shadowless. There's all sorts of variations what comes in those packs, but it's more of a crapshoot. And I wasn't willing to invest in a crapshoot. The second one." They are just what they are. They're unlimited packs. You could pull a Charizard. You could, but it's just, to me, it's the beauty of the product.
Yeah. So you did buy them, right?
Any shop.
Did you buy them?
Yeah.
Yes, I bought the 6 on the right.
Okay, you didn't get
they shopped it around.
You didn't get the 3 on the left.
The ones that were right, because like I said, it's too big of a gamble. It's like flipping a coin for 1 or or 0, like 100 or 0. It's like, no, that's fine. I just wanted to own a piece of Pokemon history since it's been so good to me, and to kind of preserve it. And
are you going to get them graded? Can you grade those blister packs?
That's what I'm working on right now. So PSA has a rule that they do not grade blister packs. However, because I have the ear of a lot of the PSA, I'm like, guys, why can't we put this in a comic pack and treat it like an ash can? And they were like, well, we do have that product. So I'm working on with them to try to figure out how we could do this. Or I may just go to CAS, because I know the people who own that company, grading company out of Florida, that do action figures.
Does anybody, that's what my question, if anybody knows out there, please drop a comment.
Yeah, as far as I know, nobody grades the blister packs. They don't have a case that they use to encapsulate that. But I'm just going to hang on to these.
Wouldn't you be grading the blister pack then?
Yes.
Yes, you would be grading the card cleanness, the bubble cleanness. If the bubble were crushed,
like an action figure.
Yeah. Just you would grade this like an action figure. And even the action figure, I've always laughed about the grading of action figures, because they grade the figure inside without actually being able to see the back of the figure.
Yeah.
The figure gets, I'm like, well, what if they messed up on the paint on the back? You'd never know. But the figure gets a grade anyway. So why can't you just eyeball grade the pack and then grade the condition of the bubble and the card on these?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of advertising for a new grading company, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those same advertising where they're talking bad about tag.
Did you get the last picture I sent?
Let me check here.
The last 2.
Oh yeah, right here.
Something with a D.
I got the 2 guys. That's DJ, the writer of V Friends.
Yep.
Right as they were packing up, and then the last one, Mr. Leaving the Show Early. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, that's bad. I didn't send you the picture. Damn it.
This one?
I ran into J. Scott Campbell. Oh, but that's my wife. Go back one. That's my the last one there with the battle comics. Battle
Your
Buddies
wife-
comics.
Your wife has a beard.
No, right there. That's my wife, apparently.
This one right here.
The blonde, yes.
Yeah. Shout out to Battle Buddy who's in the
They
in the
think
chat.
you have a lot more money than you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
When I ran into J. Scott Campbell, who was leaving at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, he'd already sold out everything and done a signing. He was gone. But I got to talk to him for about 10 or 15 minutes.
You should have asked him where his best friend
area.
was.
He was
Where's
only
Hood?
what?
In the celebrity area.
Wow.
Was he?
Didn't even have a booth. He had to you had to buy a ticket for a signature just like you would buy a celebrity signature.
Wow. Good for him.
I would love if any of you guys ever run into Jay Scott again, do me a favor and ask him to do a shout out to Hood, because he knows that Hood is his number one fan, and I love to see my boy Hood get those little shout outs. I don't know if you guys saw that where Clutch ran into J. Scott Campbell at I forget what con it was, but J. Scott Campbell had stopped Clutch and said, "Hey, where's Red Hood? Like, where's my number one fan?"
Nice.
So,
Awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
Before I get to I've been obsessing over this pixel media ever since we showed it.
Uh-huh.
I have a theory. I would love to talk to these guys on the show. I have a theory. This is my opinion and my opinion only, and it's not verified. I think they found digital copies of, they say they scanned original creators that I was reading through this thing. I think they used AI to touch up the images and they're publishing those.
Oh no.
I'm
I hope
almost
I can bet
certain.
you
I
money.
don't know. I think
Yeah.
I've been running these images.
Do you know
Their
what
IG
AI is really good at is the enhancing.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, the
of images.
IG is the clean. Those are like almost no hits, because they're on their IG. They're smart about what they posted. But when you go to the Kickstarter, it's almost very hard to find on the Kickstarter full size images. They have them all just tiny little images with their in the big masses for the tiers. So I've been trying to run those through detectors, and the one I did run through the big image, it was like a 43% hit. So I think they're touching it up with AI. So their claim of I read the comments and everything, because they asked questions in the comments on the Kickstarter. Their claim of we scanned from, and they don't say it in the actual thing. They answer this guy's question. We are not using internet scans. The resolution is simply too low. We know that. We have a detailed production flow that strips colors down layer by layer to address aging and damage and produces authentic. I think they're just using AI. Work with the printers. Okay, got it. And they are printing it on newsprint, which is cool.
It is cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do think that's cool
Well,
to do a newsprint.
Well, I think that we'll try to get Pixelmon maybe on at some point to talk about it,
Craig
because
Richardson answered the question. I'd love to hear from this Craig Richardson guy. I want to talk to him. I could be wrong. I'm not accusing them of anything.
No.
I could be wrong.
Eben from Macroverse came on, and I respect him for that. And maybe the people behind Pixelmon would like to come on.
I guess that's one thing to respect him for.
Yeah, totally.
Well, they finally did get it out. I mean,
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
What was
They did.
the lawsuit? Didn't they get sued for?
We did an unboxing with the one that Kyle got in.
Okay.
Yeah, they
there was
sent them
one
out.
comment print- Yeah, they came out there. It looked pretty cool.
July to March.
I got a few things.
Yeah, no, it was really delayed, but there's a lot of people that never
Right.
do their
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, if they held true, and with all that delay, I bet you that cost them more money, and they didn't make what they were expecting to make on it.
Yeah.
They probably took a beating.
Yep.
All right, you got pickups? All right, let's
got a
see what we
few.
got here.
I don't have a lot of
Ooh,
stuff.
Dork 1. Nice.
I don't save a lot of stuff for me.
Ooh, nice.
But
Signed.
I got my Dork 1 signed by Brett Bean. This is the one I read on the review show.
That's
This is
awesome.
the only copy I ordered.
That's awesome. Biggie Shack
Only
in the
copy I
house.
ordered.
It is a really good book, and so is Narcos.
I just love.
Oh, I
finally
love
got to read
that.
the second one.
Ooh,
That's a 1/100. I saved that for me. I took it out of the box. I'm like, we're not selling this one.
that's
this is going to Sean's
beautiful.
house.
I have that in 9.8.
That's
It's
such
so
a great
good.
cover.
It's so
Jenny
good.
is dude, and it's funny because even Shawn, when you posted those blind bags, I was like, I need to get that freaking neon chainsaw, and look how beautiful this looks. Oh my gosh. Oh,
So this was in the blind bag, and I got to open it up if you can see it.
these are beautiful. Shout out.
It's like a spot and
Oh,
bottom.
Oh,
wow,
look how
mirror
great
finish.
that is.
Wow.
And it's spot gloss. By the way, you guys, I want to
Oh,
give a
that's
real big shout out to this guy right here, Greg Hopkins over at Boom, who has his finger on the pulse of what collectors want.
Greg hooked me up, man, at C2E2.
They had such a great booth right when you walked in the door.
Yeah.
They were all over Instagram with it.
And so contrasted to Bad Idea,
Well,
who just had 2 card tables.
Here's the interesting thing is they even did something special with Beyond Wednesdays and House of Stein members. If you were a member and you went up and you showed them that you were a member each day, you got something special. He gave out a couple Sveta variants and a couple of the packs because of all this. And
No,
I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh. Look how beautiful that is.
I got one.
I'm so jealous.
I walked into the booth and he goes, "Hey Shawn, what's up?" I said, "Beyond Wednesdays and Sveta are the best." And he's like, "You're the second one." I was like, "No." I was like, "I totally got one."
I love that, dude. I love it.
That's awesome.
But this is staying with me again. We're not selling it. It's staying with Daddy. So I know it's not going to make it. Probably won't make the Stein top 10 list. But those blind bag packs, we were opening those up. And the black and this was the most common one. It was 750. There's another version of this that was 1 in 250. This was going in our shows for $75. The one limited to 250 was going for 100 to 110. And then the other versions, the sucker version was the most popular one. The color was going for 100, and the black and white sold peak for $200.
Wow.
In our live shows. So, and of course, those aren't on eBay, so they don't hit the shows. And it wasn't just one show. We sold repeatedly. As we were selling, they kept getting higher and higher and higher in sale price.
Yeah.
This was at Jenny's booth.
Oh, that's the book. This in the spot color black and white. Oh, look how beautiful.
The black and white, I missed it. She sold out of those, but these were $40 at her booth. It was like 1 per day.
Yeah.
Me and my employee Ernie, my buddy, got as max we could each day, and every one we sold for at least $150, except for this one. I kept this one. Came with the Koa from Jenny.
So good.
Yeah.
So,
and great job for Boom for how they're doing things. I mean, it sounds like they're saying, hey, you know, if you do a cover for us at the con, we'll give you I love that Corey Walker. But it sounds like maybe they've worked something out with the artist. Hey,
is that a reprint?
No, this is the new series.
Fabulous.
So no, they did both. So they did reprint the first capes, but they recreated them. So the dude went back and redrew capes.
Okay.
And now they're publishing issues that have never been out before. So they're continuing the stories.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's so funny because those aren't real. She just wears fake in the story. It's funny she wears fake because she's like, I get paid more. Like, it's so funny. But
the Corey Walker 1 in 10, and then the 1 in 10 for next issue is great too.
And I got my Superman #1 signed by Rafa.
Beautiful.
First print.
Oh,
absolute
beautiful.
#1 first print.
I love that series.
Signed it in white right there.
Yeah.
And then I got my 4th print signed. He signed that in like pink red.
That's cool.
So
such a great series.
Those are my con. Shawn's keeping. They're not allowed to sell them books. If I get lucky, I'm going to try to get a black and white of the sucker cover of Jenny's, and it's so hard. I tell my guys, I'm like, don't let me keep stuff because I will keep long boxes of stuff, and then we won't make any money. And Zach, my whatnot manager, knows. He's like, I'll hear him say, "Don't show this to Shawn." He'll take some of the best stuff because I'll keep it all. I'm like, but if there's a hot 1 in 25, I'm like, we're selling 3, and I get one of them. Like,
I've actually been hoarding 80s indies for if I ever decide to sell online live. I have all this like weird stuff most people have never seen before. And a lot of it drawn by guys who are huge now. So
just like that that Eric Larson that walked in my store. I never seen it before, and I'm like, dude, we got to look this one up. I've actually never seen this, and we look it up, and it's like, oh, that's early Eric Larson.
Here's where live sales get frustrating: is the 27 people in your room have no clue what you're talking about.
Right.
So you got to convince them that this super rare, cool, weird book is worth $100.
Well, and that's why we had that. That's why we had that phrase: "So rare, it's worthless." If somebody doesn't know what the comp is,
Right.
they won't buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these books won't go for anywhere near that money, but people who want to have something that's different and none of their other friends are going to probably have, they'll
Yeah,
pay $5
if you-
for it, and
if
I'll
you
be quite
foster
happy
that-
with 5.
If you
Well,
foster
that's-
that market, bro, you can make a killing on some of that
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, by killing, I mean, get $10
Yeah,
a copy.
yeah,
or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
But yeah, you got to foster that. That's why I say, again, not to get preachy here, but I
Everybody's
tell all
business
my
model.
people, all my sellers, I say, you have your main 2 jobs are to entertain and to educate. If you do those 2 things, the sale will naturally happen. Too
Yep.
many people go in there and try to sell.
Yep.
It's like,
Well-
explain what you're selling.
And that's why it comes back to authenticity. And Shawn, I'm always confrontational with you, but you're authentic.
No, you're not.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But you're authentic with your crowd, your audience, and that translates. And I'm authentic. I'm as big an asshole as people think I am. I'm as authentically asshole-ish as I can. But when I say something, most people believe me, because why would I need to lie to you?
Yeah. No, that's why I say, if you educate about what you're selling, tell them what it is. If you don't know what it is, that's why I say, selling's hard work, man. Streaming is hard work. You got to look it up, do your research.
That's actually in my orientation pack. As important as it is to sell, it's more important to know when you can't sell. Never lie to the customer and pretend you know what it is, because they might know more than you and know you're lying to
Catch
them.
you, and then it's murder.
See, and that right there, I mean, we can agree to disagree, but that's why I get on a retailer selling a book, I think, for way too high. Because in my opinion, I feel like you're misleading your audience. That's why I did a deep dive into this guy's Kickstarter, because he's saying, follow this Kickstarter. Once they're gone. You can never get these books again. And it's like, yes, you can. Anybody can print. I want to print some of these covers because they're freaking cool as shit. I didn't
You know what, Shawn? There's nothing stopping you. Go for it.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought is the play on stuff that's in public domain, so that you could recopyright, is to pass the mantle on to a new character.
Right.
That new character now has all of the copyright of the original character.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of
powers.
exactly. Think of all the great creators that you are robbing from allowing them to touch this original source material and do their spin on it. Can you imagine?
The original company robbed them enough.
No, exactly. But
true,
could you
though.
imagine when we talk about Sveta and all these, these great new cover artists, Ito, could you imagine what they could do? Could you imagine what J. Scott Campbell could do with Lady, what's her face?
Yeah.
Phantom
Lady. Well,
Lady, yeah.
I mean, this could be a whole good topic. We could save this and do a deep dive for another show.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, Matt Cole, he did the Glopple that we published and some other kids' books. He redid a Winnie the Pooh book, and it's only certain things are public domain.
Right.
You can't do the Disney version, the red shirt.
Right.
It has no. But
No
and he redid it. He exactly took it exactly from public domain, rewrote number 1. It published through KeenSpot. KeenSpot told him it was their best-selling kids book ever. It sold overseas. So he took that original material. He could have gave him a purple shirt, and then he would own that version of Winnie the Pooh, or
unless
whatever it was called.
you heard the new ruling by, I think it was a pretty high-level judge, not Supreme Court. AI. Things created with AI cannot be copyrighted.
Yep.
So here's the catch to that.
I agree.
Yeah. No, you're right. And it shouldn't be. But here's the catch to that. So let's say that's why I make an AI image. but I take the hair and instead of red, I digitally make it purple. I can copyright the purple hair.
Yeah.
The rest of it, anybody else can take.
Right.
So that's where it gets tricky with an image, right? So an image can't be copyrighted, but if you change it, so what people will do is they'll put a filter on the whole thing, and they'll be like, oh, I changed the whole thing by clicking filter button, and they did something to it. But they're on the right track with AI images cannot be copyrighted.
Shout out to Rye.
Derek, then only 73% of it is able to be, or 27% can be copyrighted.
Rye says with a $5 super chat, yeah, let's see a full show on intellectual properties and expirations, Brian. It's a great thing to talk about. And you know what's fucking interesting about this whole thing? Shout out to Piggy Spanks, who's in the chat. He has been dealing with a nightmare about all this stuff with he's a custom card creator. We've talked about him a lot on this channel. He's a longtime community member, and he has been creating these custom cards forever. But he basically, it's funny how he did this, but Piggy Banks is a company that makes these custom cards, and they make them in their and put them in their own cases and stuff. And he started making custom cards, kind of like, and he called them Piggy Spanks, and made it look kind of like the same Piggy Banks thing, and just as a joke on them. And they started, so for example, that's a perfect example. This one right here, this is one that he did. And they started coming after him, and you could see it's total parody. And they sent him a cease and desist, and they're suing him for making parodies of their card, which are parodies of real IPs. They do all these Pokemon cards, these Vader
Live by
cards.
the sword, die by the sword.
It would be like if somebody started doing Fane books and Tidal Wave started suing those people for doing Fane books.
Right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So
how dare you put Daredevil on your Charlie Cox story?
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like they sent him a cease and desist. They're making, and this is how he does. This is how he makes extra money, by creating these cards. He's done some really great cards. He did a really good. He does like these cool versions of like Darth Vader on a new card, and he's done some really cool things, and people love it. They're custom cards, and this is the world we live in. And again, you have to be able, like, for Piggy Banks to go after Piggy Spanks for parodying them looks cheesy in the ultimate sense of the word. And it's funny about this is a big deal. This specific story is a big deal in the card world right now. So show some love to Piggy Spanks. Go check him out. He goes by Cartier West Customs LLC. Cartier West Customs LLC. This is his IG at Not Piggy Banks. At Not Piggy Banks. And they keep on sending him tons of, we're going to shut you down, and blacklisted. He's getting doxing threats. It's pretty ridiculous.
Back to our online terrorism.
You got it. Yep.
So did you see the guy crash out on Whatnot over a graded card?
I've seen multiple ones of them.
Oh,
yeah, which one?
I don't know what it's sold for, but this guy, it was a 10 of a basketball player, I think. He broke it open with his hands, pulled the card out, and folded it into 4.
Are you talking
this
about
is what I'm mailing you?
Yeah, this is the one that he turned. So basically, what he did, and by the way, this Boston card hunter guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's vicious.
You got to take him with a grain of salt, because he's a paid employee of Fanatics.
Yep.
So you got to,
is he?
You got to take him with a grain of salt. But this is his post he put up about this. Here we go.
Smash it up and fold it inside a penny sleeve.
You understand what happened? The last 5 minutes, I'm cracking this slab. You ain't getting no 10 now. You're getting a damaged raw card. You're getting a damaged raw card. That's what you're getting shipped to you, bro. That's what you're getting shipped to you.
Wow.
How's your PSA 10, bro?
And Whatnot should take this guy and say, you know what? Because of this, you're gone.
Yep.
This guy shouldn't be. This guy should be suspended at the very least. If not,
did he win that auction and then he destroyed it?
Yes.
I think
his
so.
account should be frozen and all of his money held until they solve it, and then that buyer should have received all the money that was worth out of this guy's account.
So it says here, this guy commented, so he put it up for auction. It went for $1. He then asks for $100 tip, or it won't get shipped. Read the room. It went for $1 because you likely didn't have many people in and you didn't talk about the card. The only person to blame is yourself. With that aside, I think there's external things going on in his life and he should seek therapy. Is this how you handle situations? And he's right. We've talked about this many times before live selling. If you're going to put something up for $1 and you only have 10 people in the room, you might not get what you want for it. Yes, you're going to sell for $1. You have to read the room. That's important. Just because you think a book is worth something, and it might be worth that on secondary sales on eBay, or you look at the cover price secondary sales or key collector secondary sales, just because you put it up on a live sale does not mean you're going to get those, because you're not going to have that many eyes on it. Like, you got to put something up what you're wanting to get for it.
I knew a couple of guys that say they source on Whatnot. They hunt these guys that have nobody in the room, that had listened to Whatnot tell them you got to start low, you got to do 10 seconds.
Yeah, but you can't blame that on Whatnot, Emmett. You can't blame that on Whatnot.
Sense.
Yeah, that's common
if
sense.
You've never sold on it. Well, there's no such thing as common sense, right? None of us were raised by the same person. None of us have the same look before you leap. Those who hesitate is lost. So there's an opposite for every single. There's no such thing as common sense. When you get the call and they say, this is the training, these are what people who are successful do, and you follow their track, yes, these people aren't business people. They shouldn't be on Whatnot.
But again,
I'm not blaming them.
Okay.
I'm telling you that
okay.
Yeah, there's no the blame is in the system.
The blame is in the seller. It's not in the system.
I've done the same thing. I've watched dudes sales and be like, "You're selling this for how much? I'll buy that for $2." And
I know a lot of retailers that do that.
Yeah, I bought from other retailers and flipped their books. Like it's, I'm sure people I tell people, guys, buy this and resell it.
And flip them.
Yeah,
a lot of dealers are big customers of mine.
Do it.
Because I don't do a lot of online, right? So they come and go through my dollar bins. They're like, don't you know what this goes for? I'm like, in my store, $1.
Yeah. No, Derek in the chat said it perfectly. eBay recommends you start this item at 99 cents. How many times do you get every single post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the training, like you mentioned before, Emmett, the training's like, oh, you have to do 10-second sudden deaths and balls, like
giveaways and lots of giveaways.
No, the giveaway, you're giving away money.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I'm sure all of you guys get this too. Your shipping's really expensive for a comic book. Is there any way you could ship it cheaper? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I could fold it in half and put it in a business envelope if you want.
Yeah,
but the thing is good shipping costs money.
Yeah.
And I need to make sure you have to sign for it, or
buy
you
more.
have to. Oh, yeah. So, too many scammers ruin that. And I don't care if I sell it. I'm only shipping it for media mail or, priority mail, whatever the value is.
I don't even ship media mail because you get in trouble.
Dude, get in
trouble.
K405. Honestly, if you knew how many people think media mail is too expensive, you'd be surprised.
Oh, new member. Yeah.
Ground is anyway.
Piggy Spanks says Boston Card interview is April 16th. Are you going to be interviewed by Boston Card Hunter, Piggy Spanks? I'd love to know if that's the case, because I'm definitely going to watch that.
He's a PSA executive that's no longer with PSA. He has a interview with them. He just announced that. He said it was going to be an hour long.
Yeah.
Somebody from PSA and go through all of their training that they do, and it seems like it's going to be a fluff.
Here's what's something interesting. Now, we've talked about the the lawsuits against whatnot for the breaking and stuff. And this was one of the funniest IG posts I've seen about the whole thing.
Ooh, looks like we have a redemption here. Let's slow roll it. Congratulations. Good luck, everybody in chat. There's a warrant for your arrest. Whoa. This official notice certifies that there is an active warrant for your arrest on file. The cops are already on their way? Oh, shit. Oh, hands up. No.
That's great.
Right? Isn't that fucking awesome, dude?
That's hilarious.
Shout out to Black Gold Sports Cards for that one. Fantastic. That deserves a
Who
follow.
are the sneaker guys that actively got raided while they were live?
Yes, that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
Did you also see that there's a Panini thing where a certain box, an optic box?
Yes, they could tell which has the hits.
Which ones have the hit?
Yeah, the downtowns. Yeah, and they've done that
how
before.
that mistake happened.
Well, they've done that before. They've had that problem before with Crown Royale back in the day. And again, you got to remember, you guys, Panini is being pushed out of this industry. You don't think that they're going to pull some fuckery the last year that they're in business with the license?
They were literally robbed of millions with like 3 digits. And they're definitely, and I said it then, I go, they are definitely going to slam the door on the way out.
Yeah. Fanatics is going to own everything in the sports.
Yeah.
Like we're going to get lacrosse cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we're wrapping up, you want to I send you Instagram images to give me some cheap plugs of some comics we're launching this week.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to talk about these real quick. I want to talk before we get to that. Hold on here. Where did it go? Okay, shout out to Countdown Comics real quick.
Ultra Magnus in the chat.
Oh, shout out to Ultra. Good seeing you, man.
Very cool.
So Countdown Comics, shout out to Taylor at Countdown Comics. Great dude. He just put this up. He pulled 3 sketches out of the blind bag. Yeah.
That's a sweet one on the end, that red
Oh
one.
my gosh.
I think we saw that one in the previews.
That is
did that. That's
fire.
great.
Yeah.
I don't recognize that.
He got one from Bagley, Greg Land, 2 from Greg Land and 1 from Bagley. So both of these are Greg Land, and that's the Bagley.
Yep, I see it. Wow, good
That
for him.
muse is great.
Killed it, dude.
Great.
I can't wait to go in tomorrow and rip all my bags.
Right? That's exactly what it makes you want to do, right? It makes you want to go rip these bags. And unfortunately, that's the FOMO in all of us, right? So
I mean, I'll sell them to my customers who will buy it, cover A, B, C, and D.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about these. You've got a couple of books here.
Oh, that launched today. So this is, again, these are all 616
that?
covers. John organized. We're selling a portion of them. Absolute Wonder Woman 19. That's a trade and a foil, or virgin and a foil.
Who's the artist?
That's Talavera. Oh my god, I think it's
Ivan Talavera.
It's freaking fantastic.
It is fantastic. Talavera is amazing. If that's Talavera,
Ivan Talavera.
Ivan Talavera.
That's a trade. Yeah, I love the curve. She's got just the perfect amount of musculature.
Yep.
She's got just the perfect amount of butt cheek hanging out.
Yes, that also.
Yeah.
Got the way with that from DC.
Yeah. This is my favorite. This is Pool Yacht. I fucking love Pool Yacht.
Man. So good.
Yeah.
And good job to them for getting the girl in the background, and then for the foil, just pulling her out of the front and making it a foil, zooming in on it a little bit.
Yeah. Again, I think the spot.
Is that 10th Muse? Is that the character in the green hair?
That'd be a great thing if it was. That's a callback, bro. Or Aphrodite 9. Remember Aphrodite 9?
Aphrodite, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's launching tomorrow, actually at 6. And then
he's so good.
Yeah. I love this Godtail Exquisite Corpses.
Godtail's another one that's amazing.
Look at that cover.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
fantastic.
So good. That's
I like
Friday.
this one the best right here. That's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
John's
where
doing a
can they
great job over
go
there.
to get these, Shawn?
ComicsEliteComics.com.
And can they use a promo code?
They can. Beyond 10 get you 10% off.
There you go. That's what we're talking
Beyond
about.
10 gets 10% off.
All right, Emmett, do you have anything coming up for Haven for Heroes this week?
I do. It is officially April 1st, so and it is not April Fool's. All my subscribers have picked the boxes that they, how many boxes they want to buy, and I have left over. If you're in the greater New York area and want to come for a sale on April 11th, it's $150 for a short box, and you can fill it from about 200 or so boxes.
Sick.
Yeah, there's like the last 6 years, all my doubles from the last 6 years, including variants. And then there's Bronze Age, not much silver, but a lot of bronze, Marvel DC, and then tons of independents.
We're trying to figure out how to get to Emmett's quickly.
I would say, what city are you in?
Sadly, April 11th is the
11th.
day that the Worm is rescheduled to come to the store next to my store in Toledo.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I will be seeing Dennis Rodman, knock on wood.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah,
that's very
I'm
cool.
doing a Invincible sale on eBay Live Thursday. And
did you do one of those already?
Yep.
How'd it go?
The first one, it was good. Good. Three Rivers was in there and bought some great books. And yeah, here's the thing. There, same thing with what Emmet was saying. I like to talk about the book. I like to, they're like, oh, let's trim this up and let's, I'm like, yeah, we could do that, or I could just, do the full minute and talk about the book and have fun and So I only got through, I think, 20 or 30 books in an hour to hour and a half. So yeah,
they're big boy books though. So
yeah.
I'm with you on
plenty.
I'm with you on talking. Jesse's the guy that is just turning and burning, right? He's and me. I got to tell you why I'm selling this book and why I think it's cool, right? So I'm with you on that one. I spend more time talking about a book than I do selling a book. So
yeah, it depends what the book is. I definitely have my fodder where it's like, just put it up.
Yeah.
10-second, $2 start, sudden death. Just get this out of the store.
Yeah. I think that it's very.
There's a lot of books you don't have to talk about at all, right? Everybody knows Absolute Batman #1s. Dork has been in the news. Like anything like that you're putting up, everybody knows what you're talking about. But if
much
you're
like
doing
being
something,
on much like being on this show, my time is more valuable than whatever fodder on eBay would get me. So I would rather be able to talk about books and get whatever it goes for however few that I do, then all right, guys, here's this and go.
Yeah.
All right, here, guys, this is this. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Like I said, you got to entertain.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think you realize how valuable your time is until you got to ship a lot of freaking packages.
That's why I have a shipping department.
You're damn right.
I hope my shipping department today for an hour.
That was enough for the week.
Get back in the trenches.
That being said,
motivates the troops, man. You know that.
Yeah. That being said, great show tonight, you guys. 3 hours. Thank you for everybody that hung out with us tonight. I'm going to give a big shout out to these guys for the way everybody in the live chat has been great tonight. Shout out to
one guy.
Shout out to Rye for dropping multiple super chats and gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Shout out to Music Pub. Shout out to Donald. Shout out to everybody that supported tonight. You guys are amazing.
Chonko.
Yeah. Chonko. Shout out to Chonko's Comics.
Awesome Sauce, who's always in this. Always on the spot.
All the mods. Shout out to Derek, Alex, and the rest of the mods that I'm not mentioning right now just because I'm half out of it. But that being said, again, you guys are the reason we love doing the show, and thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, Wednesday night review. Adios.